Hello, everybody. We are on Facebook, on YouTube. Hope that the Facebook people will be able to join us on time. I will need to apologize to them again today. Yeah, who do we have there on YouTube? Okay, Stephen Adebanjo, Mary Odia, Desired Couture. Oh, I know who that is. Adeola Diso. Welcome. Vanessa Boateng, Tofi, Mberil, Agoni Paul. Nice to see you all. Nice to see you. Welcome, everyone. Nkechi is here. Okereke. Omonike. Possibility Mindset. Interesting to know who that is. Okay, Stephen Adebanjo is Stephen. You are the first one here again. You are only the first one to show up everywhere. Monica is here. Doris John. Who is Doris John? Enter Religiosity. Martin Beckhoff. BB. Welcome. Media. Uyi. Justin Mayo. Rita Julius Adesola is here. Donald. Ronki. Vanessa. Okay, welcome to the Facebook audience. We are going to say welcome to the Facebook audience as well. Hello, everyone. Okay. Queen McDonald's is here. Anastasia. All right, here we go. Okay, let me see how to welcome the Facebook audience. I've welcomed some from YouTube, but let me now try and get to welcoming people from Facebook. Okay, on Facebook, the first person I see here is Precious Olivia, Charles Smith, Bidemi, Anna Oyewole, Ibidun, Ezinwa, it's been a while, Olushola, Desmond, Daniel Asenga, Miracle Austin, Jane Musanka, Anita Imarile, Edwin, Pastor Edwin, Kobler, Iziegbe. Well, welcome everybody. We are going to be having a very exciting time today. So please go ahead and call on your friends. I'll show you the topic now. The topic of today, does it look different than the way it was looking when they showed me the example? Okay, urgent measures to rescue the African church. That is the name of our series. But the topic is, we must get rid of religiosity without values. We must get rid of religiosity without values. Religiosity without values must be discarded. That's what we are practicing right now in Africa, unfortunately. Religiosity without values. So if we want to build a greater country, if we want to build a great country, if we want to rescue the Church of the Lord Jesus Christ, we need to build a country. We must get rid of religiosity without values. What we are practicing right now is not Christianity, it's actually religion. Christian religion mixed with paganism, and it is just religion without value. Religion without value. I'm going to start by showing some films about what I'm talking about. Let's look at this film, please. And this will help you to have an idea of what we are talking about. This person that is going to be talking to us today is somebody that every Nigerian should know. He is the former governor of the CBN. CBN is like the Central Bank of Nigeria, I think they call it. Central Bank of Nigeria, right? So Central Bank of Nigeria is like the Federal Reserves in America and the central bank in many other countries. So Central Bank of Nigeria president, this was one of the rather very disciplined and very successful, very, man with integrity that was in that CBN. He exposed a lot of guys. He exposed Jonathan. He exposed the 220 billion that was stolen. He exposed a lot of things. But the video that I'm going to show today is concerning him exposing the top religious leaders of our country. The top religious leaders of our country. So this guy is going to be talking about a particular person that we all know who actually was involved in corruption act. And that, you hear the whole story, but he said more than that. He said a lot of things about Nigeria that we all need to know about. We don't need to hear about what this guy say about Nigeria, the potential of Nigeria, where Nigeria is coming from, and what is disturbing Nigeria from going further, higher, which is graft, mainly graft. The main problem of Nigeria is graft and corruption. And he is saying that one of the vested interests in Nigeria, some of them who are actually responsible for the death of the country are our religious leaders. So we don't have virtues. So we have religiosity. Religion is supposed to be responsible for the virtues of the country, but rather it is the religious leaders that are actually responsible for the vices and for the corruption in the land. So let's see the video.
I'm going to speak to you today about overcoming the fear of vested interests. It's a topic that I have come to be engaged in mentally because I have learned in the 4 years or so that I've been in Abuja that if we understand that, we may begin to unlock the key to how to change our world, the world of the country in which we live. And what is this country? It's a country of 167 million people, as you know. Largest population in Africa, second biggest economy on the African continent. In 1960, with a per capita income that was higher than per capita income of South Korea. 1960, Nigeria was the preferred investment destination, preferred to Japan, according to US Investment Advisory, which has always had potential, but which has never been able to realize that potential. A country that specializes in exporting what it does not produce and importing what it produces. One of the world's largest producers of crude oil that does not refine its own petroleum products and has to import petroleum products. The world's largest producer of cassava that does not produce starch or ethanol. A large tomato belt, yet the world's largest importer of tomato paste. A country that from my childhood I have heard had the potentials for being a world power. But every day we talk about potentials. Every day we talk about potentials. Today we're talking about the potentials of Nigeria. And yet, China, Indonesia, Malaysia, Japan, Korea, Vietnam, Brazil, all of those countries have turned the potential that they had into reality. What's the one thing that, if I were to ask, what is the one thing that we need to do to break this barrier that faces us? In 4 years in Abuja, I've come to the conclusion that we need to overcome the fear of vested interests. And I'll talk you through a little bit of my own experiences as governor of Central Bank and use that as a basis or as a template for what I think we need to do if we change this country. I became governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria in 2009. And this was in the middle of a global financial crisis. I came to the central bank knowing that banks had problems and believing that these problems were caused by a global crisis, by the collapse in the capital market, the collapse in the price of oil, and that they would be fixed by simply addressing the normal risk management issues in banks. Shortly after I came in and one went through investigations, I discovered that the Nigerian banking system was infested with the same corruption of the rentier system in this country. That a number of bank chief executives had taken their banks and fleeced those banks and literally taken away depositors' money to buy property all over the country, all over the world. And just like people do in ministries or in government agencies or whenever they have opportunities in all companies, the banks were themselves a site for rent seeking. The fundamental character of the Nigerian state is that for decades, since we found oil, it has existed not to serve the people, but as a site for rent extraction by a very small minority that controls political power. And it doesn't matter where this group comes from, whether it's North or South or Muslim or Christian or military or civilian, the state has always been a site for the extraction of rent, with the exception of a few years that we can think of where we've had development. And this is at the heart of the problems of the country. Now, when we discovered this, and I'll give you a few examples, and these are well known now, they've been published. You know, there was one chief executive officer that took away from her bank over 200 billion naira. Okay, that was over $1 billion. And where was this money taken to? Purchase of property. We recovered from one CEO 200 pieces of real estate in Dubai, real estate in Johannesburg, real estate on the Potomac in Washington, apart from shares in over 100 companies. And all of that was purchased with depositors' funds. We went to the court in UK on the case of another CEO. We got a judgment against that CEO for 142 billion naira, stolen from the bank, taken to buy shares and manipulate the shares of his own institution, and also transferred outside to purchase property. Now, the first CEO we were able to convict, we recovered these assets and got a 6-month sentence and sorted it out. The second CEO, we finished our case, established in Nigeria, that we had a civil case in the UK, had a criminal case in Nigeria, established the case. 2 weeks before the closing statements were made, the judge was miraculously promoted to the Federal Court of Appeal. Miraculous. After 3 years of trial, at the very end of trial. Because someone, a very popular religious leader with hundreds of thousands of supporters, carried him to political authorities, and the system that was supposed to protect depositors and handle criminals was used and manipulated to promote a judge so that he would not convict a thief. Now, this is an example and an instance of the kinds of things that happen in a country that stop a country from reaching its full potentials. But my experience with the banking reforms and how it affects the fear of vested interest was the following. After we discovered the things that happened in the banks, the critical thing we had to do was take a decision that would pitch us against powerful political and economic forces. We were dealing with chief executives that in 2009...
Okay, I think we have to... what we are going to do is that we are going to start all over again. And I want us to be able to analyze what is going on. First of all, I wanted you to have an idea of what Nigeria is, where Nigeria is, and what is responsible for where we are. And this person, believe me, he knows what he's talking about. Now, but the thing we are talking about is, let's show the topic of the title of our, oh, it's good now. Before, it was not showing yellow at first, now it's okay. Yeah, I think maybe. So, urgent measures to rescue the African church. We must get rid of religiosity without values. Now, you know, when this man, we are talking about religiosity without values. So, despite all this devastation you have had, all this horrible stuff that is happening to the country, what would you think a religious leader would do? you would think a religious leader is the one that will say, no, this thing must not be happening in Nigeria. We must uproot this kind of evil from our country. But it is rather the religious leaders of our country that are promoting graft, that are promoting corruption, that are actually responsible for people who are convinced of corruption not to be prosecuted. So I mean, you all know what is happening. You remember 2 days ago I showed a video where Gio Adeboye had, narrated the story of how he got rescued or delivered from the police, from the legal authority. You see, everything is confirming. Everything is coming back to the same thing. So in his own personal life, he got rescued from the legal authority of the land. And he used dubious way to get that rescue, deliverance, through the area boys, yes, through the bandits. Now, and at the end of that speech, he said that it doesn't matter how God delivers you, because they always credit God for everything. Because everything good for you, it means it's from God. So he said to people that, it doesn't matter who God will use to deliver you, as long as you are delivered. So with that particular statement shows us the fundamental thing that is wrong with Nigerian mentality and with my Nigerian mindset, which is, as long as it's good for me, I don't care what happens to the rest. It doesn't matter. I mean, the whole world, the whole country could collapse as long as it's good for me. And somebody will say, oh, you don't understand that story very well. They wanted to take bribe. He didn't want to give bribe. Well, I understand it very well. I understood it very well. Because that is not the only scenario that I'm using to judge that situation. For example, let's look at Ibadan-Lagos Expressway or Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. It's the same mentality. It is just the value, it is the vice, the anti-value that is ruling the mind of our country right today. And it's coming from the religious leaders, from our pulpit. Because what you see in that Ibadan-Lagos Expressway is that it's the same principle. As long as it's good for me, as long as it's good for us, it let the whole world, perish. It doesn't matter what is happening to the rest of the world. Let the rest of the world perish. We don't care. Because that is the attitude, But Nigerian people don't want to question anything. We don't want to do critical thinking. I mean, there is just no way you will say that is not the philosophy. They might not be aware of what they are doing because they have not been thinking. They might not know how to define that, what they are doing. They might not have given it that same definition that I'm giving it. But as a thinking person, not just me, or not that because I know more than everybody, or like people are saying. No, but you challenge anybody that thinks from any other country, apart from Nigeria or Africa, where people are not religious. Or if you get a Nigerian that is thinking as a deep thinker, you will see that if all these religious leaders are not using this philosophy, then what philosophy do they have? Do they have the philosophy of Jesus? Do they have the value system of the New Testament? And what is the value system of the New Testament? Do unto your others as you wish that they would do to you. Do unto others as you wish that they would do to you. So is that what we are seeing? No, that's not what we are seeing. We don't see do unto others as you wish that they would do to you in that Lagos Ibadan Expressway. In the Lagos Ibadan Expressway, what we are seeing is it's good for us. We are getting our crowd. We are getting our glory. We are praying to our God. We are getting our offerings. We are getting everything we want. As long as we are getting everything we want, we care less what happens to the rest of the world. Because other people will be standing on that expressway for like 6 hours, 4 hours, 7 hours, and we say, oh, they are not to blame. It is the government to blame. No. If they really care for their neighbors as themselves, if they want to do for others unto others as they wish that it will be done to them, they will not treat other people like that. But in Nigeria, people care less about other people. People don't care about their neighbors. We don't know love. We don't have the definition of love. The same thing in this story here. And this story here, what you are hearing is this. this is my member, even though he has done something wrong, even though he has committed a crime, but as long as he's my member, as long as they are my members, I've got to deliver them from prosecution. They must not face the music. They must not face, penalty for what they have done. Why? Just because it's somebody that is close to me, or somebody that is my member, or somebody that brings money here. That's exactly how the whole Nigerian society has become. So politicians also do the same thing, and ordinary people also think like that because that is what they are used to. They are not. We don't live by the values of the Bible that says, don't do unto others as you don't want them to do to you. So this person has stolen the money of the whole country, and yet we are going to say they shouldn't be jailed and they shouldn't be prosecuted. They shouldn't take responsibility for their actions just because they are members. Will Pastor Adeboye or any other person have gone to the president to plead for those people if they had been Muslims? It's just like saying this minor and other people that are now being, there was some money that were found in Lagos, another one was found in Kaduna. Can you imagine now that if those money that was found in Kaduna and the money that was found in Lagos, then the priest or the imam of that man, what was the name of the man the money was found in Kaduna? You don't remember? And the one that was found in Lagos. Can you imagine that the imam will now go to the president so that they will set them free? I mean, Nigerians will tear that imam away. They will tear that imam apart. But the same Nigerians that will tear apart these imams and that will destroy the mosque and everything, they are the Christians. They will not dare, they will fight to defend their GO, even though GO is doing exactly that. So hypocrisy and the only value we have in Nigeria is called egocentrism. Egoism, egocentrism, that's the only value that we have that's working for us in Nigeria. So what I'm saying is we have religion without values. What we have is religiosity that is devoid of values. Now, we don't need, nobody needs religion, especially religion without values. Religion will only lead the country to destruction. Just like we said yesterday, religion doesn't lead to the development of a nation. Religion brings the digression of a nation. And then when it's religion without values, it's even worse. So let's see this movie, let's see this film, documentary again. And now I'm going to comment on it more properly. Yes, please.
For me. I'm going to speak to you today about overcoming the fear of vested interests. It's a topic that I have come to be engaged in mentally because I have learned in the 4 years or so that I've been in Abuja that if we understand that, we may begin to unlock the key to how to change our world, the world of the country in which we live. And what is this country? It's a country of 167 million people, as you know. Largest population in Africa, second biggest economy on the African continent. In 1960, with a per capita income that was higher than per capita income of South Korea. 1960, Nigeria.
Can you imagine that? Nigeria per capita was higher than that of Korea, South Korea. Now, you cannot even believe it. Right. Now, South Korea economy is one of the top economies of the world. South Africa economy right now is number 8, I think, in the world. Is in the top 10 countries of the world. And it's now like, the economy of Nigeria is like 1 trillion, yeah? I think South Korean economy, GDP is close to 2 trillion or so? I think it's about 2 trillion economy. So 2 trillion or 3 trillion, and our own is just 500 million. So, I mean, they have, our economy, can you believe it, was higher than that of South Korea in the 60s. South Korea. And South Korea has become industrialized country. Most of the electronics that we use is from South Korea. Did he say per capita though? Yeah? If he said per capita, that is even more serious. If it's just GDP, okay, we could say because we are bigger. But if it is not just, if it is per capita that is bigger, that was bigger and higher than that side of South Korea, wow, that is even much more serious. Because in GDP right now, Nigeria is number 26 in the world. But in per capita, we are about 148 countries in the world. One of the least countries in the world per capita. So if it's per capita that we are higher than South Korea, wow. Per capita, I think they should be higher. Our own per capita right now in Nigeria is less than $4,000. Maybe it is $2,000 something per capita in Nigeria. And in South Korea, I don't know, but I'm just going to guess from my head. I think it's about $40,000 per capita. So $40,000 per capita. So $40,000. Who is a Nigerian? Where you come here? Can you imagine you getting $40,000 every year?
Every year.
Just live in Nigeria.
Just live in that's a
Not in
lot.
London.
That's a lot of money.
$40,000. $40,000. You know what it is for an average Nigeria per capita is 2,000. No, maybe 3,000, but less than 4,000.
Less than that.
So it's like, and we were higher than them. So it means if the economy had been managed well, if everything has been going on well, we could have been at least at par with South Korea. We would have been having $40,000, per capita GDP per Nigerian. That is incredible. And the reason this guy said is responsible is that people, Christians, pastors, religious leaders, not just politicians, so they manipulate from politicians. They manipulate politicians. They bribe, and they are corrupt. The corruption that is coming from the church is one of the vested interests. Is one of the main corruption that is in making Nigeria not to have that. So that what that means is that 40,000 is supposed to be coming to you every year as a Nigerian is going to the vested interest. It's going to the churches. Yeah. So the churches now are the one collecting. So if you have let's say 1 million people in your church, the $40,000 that's supposed to be coming to them is coming to the church. But you are remaining with $2,000 like a year. So the pastors are getting bigger, and we can see it. Can you see the pastors are rich, and they are richer than any pastor in the world because the money that's supposed to come to ordinary Nigerians are going to them. That's why they have vested interest. That's why they are the same with politicians. And that's why we say we are Christians. We are not Christians. We are just practicing religion without virtues, without character, without the nature of God, without love for your neighbor. Most people don't care. They are just using people to build their names, their empire, but they don't build people. They don't care for the interests of the people. And this guy that is talking is a Muslim. And you want to tell me that all Muslims are bad? If he's bad, maybe he's bad, but at least he has sense. He has common sense. He has the logic enough to let you know that, this thing is wrong. Why our Christian people don't even know this is wrong. Most of our Christians will say, if it is Baba Adeboye they are talking about, there is no way it could be wrong. There is no way it could be wrong. It has to be right. Thank you, sir. Let's continue with this thing.
Was the preferred investment destination preferred to Japan according to U.S. investment advice?
Hey, Shineke. Did you hear that one? Ooh. Nigeria in the 60s used to be a preferred investment destination higher than Japan. A preferred country for investment, preferred than Japan. Higher than Japan. So Nigeria used to be ahead of Japan in anything. If you tell anybody right now that Nigeria used to be ahead of Japan, nobody will believe you. In fact, give me my books about Nigeria. I don't think it will be. It could. I think somebody have to hold it up there so that if I hold it here, it will not show properly, right? Let me say, it will not show. Yeah, it will not show. You have to hold it around that place. Show me that book. And the other one about the America something. All those books on Nigeria. Huh? No, it didn't show. Did it show very well?
See?
Could you read it? Let me see. If I show it like this, can you read it?
Yes.
You are reading properly?
Yeah.
But here it's not reading properly. Okay. Oh, good. It's YouTube. But what about in Facebook? Can you see? Does it show well? YouTube. Ah. Okay, so this book here is called How to Make Nigeria the Greatest Country in the World. So when I talk about this book, tell me other books also about Nigeria. People think this is fallacy. But can you see what this man is talking about? That Nigeria used to be a preferred destination for investment than Japan. So Nigeria used to be ahead of Japan. So if we have done it before, who say we cannot do it again? If it has happened before, who say it cannot happen again? I believe it can happen again. And I have 300 pages of arguments here to prove to anyone that doubts that Nigeria can become the greatest country in the world. And for those people who have always been asking me that where can you get my books in Nigeria, they are saying, our Shioma doesn't have the new books. But what I will tell you that now, my people in Ukraine said, anybody who wants to get all these my books in Nigeria, that you should write. Where should they write to? Write to Facebook Messenger. Write to the Facebook. In the comments. Yeah. If you want to get this my book, write in the comment section or to Facebook Messenger. Just send the message to Madik or Facebook, Movement Against Deception. Just write it there as that you want to get any of my books. So this one, How to Make Nigeria the Greatest Country in the World, it is possible. Because Nigeria used to be ahead of Korea. Nigeria used to be ahead of Japan. Who say it cannot happen? I wrote this book where I'm proving that Nigeria can become the greatest country in the world. I wrote another one here where I said how the Nigeria economy can overtake the American economy. Nigeria can overtake the American economy even. Who said it cannot? If we had overtaken Japan before, it means we can still overtake them. If we had overtaken Korea before, it means we can still overtake them. But you see, the reason that this man is giving for our backwardness is not but for lack of, it's because of oil or something. It's value system is pointing to. Value system, graft, lack of value. And that's why I believe that that's the biggest problem in our country. And that's why I wrote this book about value system. Nigeria and the leadership question. That the problem we have in Nigeria is not the problem we have in Nigeria is not about the leadership. It's about value systems. Leadership also, but it's about the values of our leaders and the values of our citizens. So now, I didn't know that we could, because I've always told all the people in Nigeria that you cannot get my books. My books are not in Nigeria. But our team say, no, we're going to be sending them to them. I think it's true. All these books that are not in Nigeria yet, we are going to be sending to you direct. We have a lot of books in Nigeria, but they are old books. So all these new ones that are not in Nigeria, order them. Just write in the internet or in the comment section or write on the email. What email? VIP? DSS book. At Gmail. DSS is with S. It's pinned. DSS book. DSS books. But they said it's pinned there, but it's not pinned here on YouTube.
It is.
I can't see it on YouTube at all. DSS books. No, that you cannot get S like that with apostrophe as email. DSS book at gmail.com. Now, this is another book I wrote about Nigeria economy. This is how to, if the Nigerian government will implement what is here, this will definitely make Nigeria one of the greatest 10 economies in the world. It's called the Nigeria Economy, the Way Forward. So if you want to go and find my books, I have so many books on Nigeria, but not just Nigeria, but especially this one. Only God can save Nigeria. Forget about it. God has done his own part. It's a myth. So, because the reason I'm talking about these books for people who are in Nigeria is that people who are in Nigeria for some reason, they don't like to buy electronic books, even though I have them on Okada as electronics. But everybody is asking for physical books. And then we have them on Amazon as well. But everybody is asking for physical book. So even if you want physical book, not just in Nigeria, but anywhere in the world, just just write to those DSS books. Books or book? books, dssbooks@gmail.com. And they will be able to send them to you. But what I'm saying is that Nigeria used to lead Japan. And I'm proving in all these books that Nigeria can do it again. 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 but they are going to be based on principles. So anyway, let's keep on hearing this guy talk.
Which has always had potential, but which has never been able to realize that potential. A country that specializes in exporting what it does not produce and importing what it produces. One of the world's largest producers of crude oil that does not refine its own petroleum products and has to import petroleum products. The world's largest producer of...
You see, we are one of the world's largest producer. We are one of the world's largest producer of oil. Then we don't have productivity. We don't produce anything. We don't refine the oil. Now, do I have any book on productivity that will help you, not just on Nigeria, just in general? I just want to, and this our generation. Our generation can, the dignity of labor. This is the key. This is also about value system. The dignity of labor. Have you ever heard of dignity of labor? Yes, dignity of labor. And then the economy, about the book on the economy in Nigeria. But this is just, dignity of labor is not just about Nigeria, it's about any country. In fact, even these books on Nigeria, they can do for any country. And, all these things will help us to get Nigeria, not just Nigeria, any country back on its feet. Can you imagine we produce oil, the leading oil producing country in the world, but we don't, we are still importing oil products. Petroleum products. And then also he mentioned another thing that we produce. Can you rewind it a little bit? Yes.
It produces. One of the world's largest producers of crude oil that does not refine its own petroleum products and has to import petroleum products. The world's largest producer of cassava that does not produce starch or ethanol.
Okay, that cassava, stop. You see, cassava is the source of ethanol than in Brazil, for example. Can you imagine that we produce more cassava than Brazil, the world's largest producer of cassava? And cassava, ethanol is the replacement for oil. It is the thing they are using for petrol to fuel their cars. It's coming from cassava. They don't have oil and they don't import oil and they use the cassava's product to do oil. And we don't even have any, and they export it to other countries. And they are getting, the same income we are getting from oil from cassava. And we are the largest producer and we don't get anything from cassava. Even some people cannot get cassava to eat them. So we are going to change those things. I'm not discouraged. That's why I keep on writing all these books. I'm not discouraged. Not just about Nigeria, but in general. I see a way out. I see the future. Okay, let's go.
A large tomato belt, yet the world's largest importer of tomato paste.
Can you believe it? Nigeria is one of the largest producers of tomato in the world. I think the second producer of tomato. But we import it. We import the one to eat. The one we produce is just the one that perish. We cannot process it to become tomato paste. And that's why I think it's a great opportunity for the new generation of Nigerians and your children. Where is that? I have a book on innovation and invention and innovation. Is the book there? Yeah, I think this book is what we need to give to every new Nigerian, every new generation of Nigeria. The reason why I started talking about the books is because last night, I don't know if some of you were here last night, there was a guy that called in from Lagos, Nigeria, and that everybody is telling him to travel abroad. But he started listening to my message and reading my books. And that he cannot believe the turnover he's making in 1 year since now, that he said he used to be in church to pray. But because of the knowledge he has gained, that in fact he cannot believe what he's doing. So, and I want to say, I told him, this is the book I recommend to him. People were asking, what is the book I recommend to him? This is the book, The Creative and Innovative Power of a Genius. And I recommended another one for him yesterday too. The Creative, about Steve Jobs. Do we have There's another one I have about how to raise up the next generation of Steve Jobs, and yeah, that should be in my office. Steve Jobs and Bill Gates. Yeah, those are the books I recommended for him. So this our new generation of the problem. Give me the problem books, because all these problems are opportunities. You know, there is another book I have here where there is problem, there is money. Me, I don't see any problem. All these things they are talking about is no problem. The more problem we have, the more it's an opportunity for somebody to make money. Where there is problem, there is money. So all these problems they are saying that we have in Nigeria, for me, I just want give it to your people, read it for yourself, and see opportunities. Turn the problems to opportunities. There is another one. Problems, your shortcut to prominence. So I just want to let everybody know that the answers are there. We can turn our situation around in Nigeria. Me, I'm not hopeless, so I'm very hopeful. And for anybody who will believe my words, for anybody who will take my words serious, and this my book serious, and read the books and study them like that guy did, you will be shocked at the kind of result you'll be having. Okay, let's continue.
A country that from my childhood I have heard had the potentials for being a world power. But every day we talk about potentials. Every day we talk about potentials. Today we're talking about the potentials of Nigeria. And yet, China, Indonesia, Malaysia, Japan, Korea, Vietnam, Brazil, all of those countries have turned the potential that they had into reality. What's the one thing that, if I were to ask, what is the one thing that we need to do to break this barrier that faces us?
Stop. You will see that the one thing they will mention is values, value system. Value system. You see, that is what Nigeria is missing, and that's what I've been talking. Anybody who knows me, you will know that that's what I've been talking about. Value system, value system, value system. Yep.
In 4 years in Abuja, I've come to the conclusion that we need to overcome the fear of vested interests. And I'll talk you through a little bit of my own experiences as governor of Central Bank, and use that as a basis or
it is overcoming the power of vested interest. What is vested interest? People who are big man, untouchables, and that's why we must all begin to talk. Power of vested interest is people who are big and powerful that are untouchables. We have too many untouchables in Nigeria, and the number one untouchables that we have in Nigeria are the political leaders. I mean, not the political leaders, the religious leaders. The religious leaders of Nigeria are the number one untouchables we have. And that's why they are the ones who are most corrupt, because absolute power corrupts absolutely.
A little bit of my own experiences as governor of Central Bank, and use that as a basis or as a template for what I think we need to do if we change this country. I became governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria in 2009, and this was in the middle of a global financial crisis. I came to the central bank knowing that banks had problems and believing that these problems were caused by a global crisis, by the collapse in the capital market, the collapse in the price of oil, and that they would be fixed by simply addressing the normal risk management issues in banks. Shortly after I came in and one went through investigation, I discovered that the Nigerian was infested with the same corruption of the rentier system in this country. That a number of bank chief executives had taken their banks and those banks and literally taken away depositors' money to buy property all over the country, all over the world. And just like people do in ministries or in government agencies or whenever they have opportunities in all companies, the banks were themselves a site for rent seeking. The fundamental character of the Nigerian state is that for decades, since we found oil, it has existed not to serve the people, but as a site for rent extraction by a very small minority that controls political power. And it doesn't matter where this group comes from, whether it's North or South or Muslim or Christian or military or civilian. The state has always been a site for the extraction of rent, with the exception of a few years that we can think of where we've had development. And this is at the heart of the problems of the country. Now, when we discovered this, and I'll give you a few examples, and these are well known now, they've been published. You know, there was one chief executive officer that took away from her bank over 200 billion naira.
So, you see, what he was talking about is that all the powerful people in Nigeria look at the country as somewhere where they come to just get rent. Just like you collect rent from the people, you have a house, you have a real estate. So they are looking at Nigeria as a real estate property. So that you just come to collect your rent. So Mahmoud, they work. So everybody is working. I mean, the money is coming. You are just coming. You know the way landlord behave. They just coming to collect rent every month. Rent every month. And the powerful people, that's exactly what they are doing for church also. Almost all churches in Nigeria, that is the mentality they have, the rent mentality. And that's the same thing they said they have about the banks. So the banks are there for you just to be, people are bringing money, you are collecting it. People are bringing their own money for you to keep for them, but you the shop up, you are shopping it. People are collecting money, people are bringing money for you to invest. They are doing their business, you are waiting for them to bring it and you are shopping it. The same thing is happening in pastors, in ministries. People are going to work from Monday to Friday, every month, every 8 hours a day. They are coming and they are bringing you tithe and offering. And you are just collecting rent. And that is what pastors are doing. And for pastors, it's even worse. Because you are not collecting rent from 2 or 3 people. You are collecting rent every month. Not even every month. For pastors, it's not every month you collect. You collect on Sunday. You collect on Thursday or Wednesday. You collect on the night vigil. You collect at least 4 times offering. Every pastor's collect. So you are collecting every week rent. That one is not enough. In some churches now, they are doing offering services every day, so that they will collect rent every day from you. I mean, wickedness. That is the mentality of the Nigeria. It's value system issue. You know, it's looking at the wall that somebody else is working and you are just to be collecting and be shopping. I mean, what they say, monkey they work, baboon they shop or whatever. So the same thing with Nigerians. Even you people, Nigerians, many Nigerians who are in Nigeria, you Nigerians who are in diaspora, you can attest to this. Many of your relatives, they are treating you as if you are their rent payer. You are their tenant. They are treating you as if you are the tenant. Many Nigerians who are in Nigeria, they look at their relatives abroad to collect rent also. They are calling you and writing you for rent. Making the parent. So that's what the guy is talking about. That they look at Nigeria as a rent somewhere that they collect. So the money, the oil money is rent for them. It's just to share. And that's what the governors are doing. Because the governors are not generating income from their place. And the government itself is not generating. They are just selling oil and collecting rent. They are just sharing it. Everybody is just sharing among themselves. So, somebody is talking there. So that's what we need to address. So the rent mentality is corruption. It's called corruption. And can you backward a little bit? Yeah.
And this is at the heart of the problems of the country. Now, when we discovered this, and I'll give you a few examples, and these are well known now, they've been published. You know, there was one chief executive officer that took away from her bank over 200 billion naira. Okay, that was over $1 billion.
Stop. Now, can you imagine? That chief executive officer is getting a salary. She has her own businesses, so she's getting money from the from the bank. She's having percentages even from the bank. But that all is not enough. Salary is not enough. The shares that she has in the bank itself is not enough. the amount that she has from the bank is not enough. What kind of people? And that woman is a pastor. Is a pastor in one of these our churches. And they are saying she's a child of God. This child of God and pastor, Cecilia Hebrew, they call her. This Cecilia Hebrew, and the other one is a Yoruba guy. He has an Adebola, whatever his name is. Cecilia Hebrew is the woman. Then the other one. So, anyways, this Cecilia Hebrew, Cecilia they call her. So this woman, she has. And if you are a CEO of a bank, you are comfortable. You are comfortable. But to come and take the money of the investors, of people who keep their money in the bank, $1 billion. But because she's a pastor, Akingbola is the other one. The other one is called something Akingbola, Eranos or something. He has a funny name like Eranos Akingbola. Yeah. So this guy here, this woman, $1 billion of your own money. So they said that's what Nigeria banks have been practicing ever since. Then they will just go to the federal government and say the bank is bad. The bank has collapsed. So the government has to now try to return the money, or they don't return the money. So $1 billion, people trust you with their money. They bring the money to the bank for you to keep bank. And you went and withdrew $1 billion and went to buy. You don't even invest it in Nigeria. You are going to invest it in Dubai. You are going to invest in South Africa, in London. Not even investing in the country. These kind of people, you know what they do to them in other countries? They just do firing squad for them. They just shoot them. They don't, even if they put them in hospital, in the prison, they don't ever come out. These people, they are supposed to, in America, they will serve life. In fact, they give them in America like 200 years, 300 years imprisonment. They just let them be there for life. How could you be trusted? It's just like all of you that put money in bank, and you don't know that your money is gone. OTO. It's too much. Somebody said she was put in prison, but she was put in prison for 1 year or 2 years. That one prison. And the kind of prison that she was put in, I know the price of, I know what was happening there. It's better than your own living in freedom. Okay? But that's what we are talking about, that it is the pastors that went to solicit for her and set her free. Pastors are the ones who say, make you, let's agree. And the president we had that time is Jonathan. That will be Dobale before all the GOs. Jonathan will be kneeling down before the GOs. So if you are kneeling down before GO, and that same GO comes to you and say, it's house arrest. Okay, they said the person was in house arrest. And if the GO you are leaning down before now comes and say, and you are calling that GO daddy, that is her. And that daddy come and say, this is my question, resolve it for me. Of course you will resolve it. So even though schools are not being built, hospitals are not being built, Nigerians are dying, children are dying, old people are dying, there are no roads, there is no economy, nothing is working. So these GOs and the bishops, they would rather see children die, they would rather see women die, they would rather see hospitals not built, schools not built, than to see their members, coming to, it's 1.2 billion, they say, 1.2 billion US dollars. So it doesn't matter what happens to the country, as long as this person is benefiting the church. So these people are benefiting the church, so we must protect them at the expense of the millions of Nigerians that are dying. They said she even went to do special Thanksgiving service after that in the church. So she kept the money, she got billions, and now she's not in prison. Why wouldn't she do Thanksgiving? Even me, I would do Thanksgiving. We'll go and dance around in the church and spray money too. That is the problem of character. It's the problem of value. Because in Nigeria, holiness for Nigerians is only about don't smoke, don't drink. And everybody is preaching holiness. So they are not even seeing grant and graft as the biggest problem of the country. Corruption, they don't see it as anything. the rent mentality, they don't see it as a problem. Okay, let's continue.
And where was this money taken to? Purchase of property. We recovered from one CEO 200 pieces of real estate in Dubai.
Oh no! Stop. 200 houses in Dubai alone.
Just one.
Is Dubai alone able to have 200 something for one person? One country alone. In fact, that Dubai is not even a country, it's just like a big city. 200. Hey, whoa. 200. By one person, though. 200 houses. As if she become the mayor or what? Or she has become the king of Dubai. One person. One Nigerian. OTO. And then they release her. She's enjoying her life at billions in Lagos, Nigeria. The same thing with that Ibori, Alamesek, or whatever they call it. Yes, all the Alamesek, Ibori, all of, and everybody just happy. And the pastors are the ones soliciting for them. Because the pastors themselves are used to graft money. The pastors themselves are used to rent money. So let everybody be taking rent money too. Yes.
Real estate in Johannesburg. Real estate on the Potomac in Washington. Apart from shares in over 100 companies. And all of that was purchased with depositors' funds.
Even Donald Trump doesn't have 200 houses in Dubai. Or even in New York, I don't think he has 200 houses. Donald Trump, America's president. This one, a thief, they have that one in Nigeria. Thieves. And they are the ones the churches are worshiping. As long as it's benefiting our people, they don't care who is losing. That is the mentality. Religion without values. And when I'm talking about it now, everybody is hating me. Today, I got a letter from a close friend of mine. Angry. Everybody is mad. Why should you be talking about this man of God? They don't care who is suffering out of their activities. They only want to protect them. This is the same graft we are talking about. Corruption. Religion without values. Okay.
In UK, on the case of another CEO, we got a judgment against that CEO for...
So this other CEO is that Akingbola or whatever they call him, right? Or Akin something. I saw the name just now. Eranos Akin. What was the name of that guy again? Akin what? Eranos. Akingbola. Akingbola. Intercontinental Bank. Yes. Is it Akingbola?
Yeah, Akingbola.
You say.
Akingbola.
I think it's Akingbola. Okay. Put it on.
142 billion naira.
That is the Akingbola one. That is 1 billion. Stop. The other one was $1.2 billion. His own, the Akingbola one is $1 billion. Okay? Erastus is his name. Erastus Akingbola. And they are the pastors, the pastors and the deacons of the churches. And they are the closest pastors, they are the closest members of pastors' committee. They are the ones, ordinary pastor, ordinary citizen in Nigeria, ordinary member in Nigeria cannot get to pastor. So these ones are the ones who are getting to pastor every day. They are the right hand of our GOs. These guys are the right hand people of our GOs. Why ordinary people who are praying, who are evangelizing cannot get to the GO? And these are the real born-again people. Because it's religion without virtues. As long as you are going to church, you are praying, you are doing some religious things, we think we are Christians. But it is not religious activities that make somebody a Christian. It is your character, it is your virtues that determine if you are a Christian or not. And he is a Muslim now exposing them.
We got a judgment against that CEO for 142 billion naira. Stolen from the bank, taken to buy shares and manipulate the shares of his own institution.
So, this guy also is a senior pastor in RCCG. And everybody will be silent. And you think he's the only one like that? Almost the whole country is like that.
And also transferred outside to purchase property. Now, the first CEO we were able to convict, we recovered these assets and got a 6-month sentence and sorted it out. The second CEO, we finished our case, established in Nigeria, that we had a civil case in the UK, had a criminal case in Nigeria, established the case. 2 weeks before the closing statements were made, the judge was miraculously promoted to the Federal Court of Appeal after 3 years of trial, at the very end of trial.
That is the
Because
that is the Aramus, or what's his name? Erastus. That's the Erastus Akintola. Because how can you jail our pastor? They say miraculously promoted because the GO, that's what Ilian said, GO of Redeem went and took the judge by the hand so that they would kill it. So these are people who are responsible for the death of all the children in Nigeria that cannot get medical care, cannot go to school, and a GO of a leading church is covering for these people, for their person to be punished. And then promoting the judge for evil, for covering up evidences, and for unduly, releasing somebody from justice. I mean, religious people shouldn't be doing this. Religious leaders shouldn't be doing this at all.
At the very end of trial, because someone
backward a little bit. Yes.
Established in Nigeria, that we had a civil case in the UK, had a criminal case in Nigeria, established the case. 2 weeks before the closing statements were made, the judge was miraculously promoted to the Federal Court of Appeal after 3 years of trial, at the very end of trial.
I will stand here.
Because someone, a very popular religious leader with hundreds of thousands of supporters, carried him to political authorities, and the system that was supposed to protect depositors and handle criminals was used and manipulated to promote a judge so that he would not convict a thief. Now, this is an example and an instance of the kinds of things that happen in a country that stop a country from reaching its full potentials. But my experience with the banking reforms and how it affects the fear of vested interest was the following. After we discovered the things that happened in the banks, the critical thing we had to do was take a decision that would pitch us against powerful political and economic forces. We were dealing with chief executives that in 2009 had become invincible. They were in the seat of power. They had economic power, and they had bought political protection. They were into political parties. They had financed the elections of officers, and they believed that nobody could touch them. And every time I said it was time for us to take action, people said to me, "You can't touch these people, you'll be sacked."
And
you can't touch these people, they will kill you.
That's exactly what they are saying today. You can't touch these people. You can't touch these people. You can't touch these GOs. You can't. It is the same, criminal understanding of untouchables. Is it like? I think it's okay. Yeah. It's still the same philosophy of untouchables. You can't touch these people. Can you do it a little bit?
We were dealing with chief executives that in 2009 had become invincible.
Stop. The same with the pastors. Just the same way they are saying the chief executives have become invincible, the politicians have become invincible. That's exactly the same way they are saying the pastors have become invincible. Stop, keep on playing.
They were in the seat of power. They had economic power, and they had bought political protection.
So that's exactly what they're telling me today. That these GOs don't touch them all, don't touch them all. They are too powerful. They have political power. They have economic power. They have influence. They will kill you. They will do this. They will do that. I think we need mom was like, no, are you okay? Are you sure? Okay. So, yeah, go ahead.
They were into political parties. They had financed the elections of officers, and they believed.
And all these members, all these church members, all these politicians are their church members. That they are church members, and because they are church members, that's why all the corruption is getting even bigger. Yeah, go ahead.
You could touch them. And every time I said it was time for us to take action, people said to me, "You can't touch these people, you'll be sacked."
You can't touch them. Untouchables. That's what is killing Nigeria. Thinking that people are untouchables.
Oh, you can't touch these people, they will kill you. Oh, you can't touch these people, you can't do that. And I said, you know what? We are going to take them on.
So, and that's what I'm saying today. We are going to take them on. We are going to take them on. And I'm taking them on. And I think that the more people in Nigeria begin to take on this political, bring my notes, the more people begin to take the political cabals, the more we begin to take them on, the more we are going to set our country free. Even if it's not going to happen in our lifetime, let it happen in the lifetime of our children. But me, I'm not bargaining for the lifetime of my children. Me, this thing will happen in my own lifetime. We are going to bring about change in one lifetime. In our own lifetime, it will happen. We are going to change Nigeria. And for that to happen, all of us must begin to talk. We all must begin to speak out against all the corruption, against all the, the graft, against all the untouchable, invisibility, all this evil thing that is going on in Nigeria. The same with the politicians and these powerful men of God, they are just the same. Corruption is, is invented everywhere, it's invaded everywhere. The corruption has become so much, so huge, that we urgently, right now, we urgently need to begin to, all of us must raise up our voice and begin to condemn all this evil that is going on in the country. Maybe you need to put on that light, So let's go ahead. Our pulpit must stop talking about miracles and breakthroughs, because the message our youth are hearing is that through miracles and breakthroughs, you can get something get something for nothing. You see, that is exactly what is happening right now. And that is why, you can get people's money. What, rent mentality is getting something for nothing. Is, you just come and collect. You don't need to work for it. You don't need to suffer for it. You don't need to pay the price for it. You just come and collect. That is the, the national cake mentality that is in Nigeria. It is the graft rent mentality. So, but it is all starting from our pulpit ministry, our pulpit preaching. And the pulpit ministry is that, the emphasis on miracles is that you can need to meet with the GO. Just need to meet with the senior pastor. Once you get the GO, once the GO prays for you. Once you come to church, don't miss church, don't miss that service. There's a special breakthrough service for this, special breakthrough service for that, special service. And once you can be blessed, once you get the prophetic word on the this and this, you don't need to work for it. You don't need to labor for it. You don't need to. You people who live in the West or in the East, in other countries, you see the way people work for their money. People pay a high price for their money. But in Nigeria, people go to GOs and bishops for blessings so that they'll be able to make things work for them. Our pulpit must stop this kind of extra attention on miracles and breakthroughs. Because this message, they are creating in people the mentality that they can get something for nothing, which means the youth now can say, okay, it is God that is blessing them when they go and carry drugs or when they go and do 419. Because it's getting something for nothing. It's quick fix, quick money. And that is what the pastors themselves are used to, and that's what they are teaching their congregation. Galatians 6:7 says, do not be deceived. God is not mocked. For whatever a man sows, that he also reap. That what pastors are sowing into the country is what we are reaping. Why is it that the country is like that? Why is it that we have churches everywhere and lives are not being changed, the country is not changed, because that is what is being sown into us. The country is only a reflection of the message that the pulpit is preaching. The country is only a reflection. So if you see a country that is corrupt, that is not developed, it's just a reflection of the values of that country. The value system of the country comes from the pulpit, from the family, from the educational system, from the families, from the education, and from the media. So it is the values of the land that decide the way the country looks. So if our country is looking the way it's looking, it's because the people who are responsible for forming our value system have failed us. And in Nigeria, because we are so religious, it is the religious organizations, the pastors, who are responsible for forming our values. People become what they hear, what they continuously hear. And what we continuously hear has not been helping us, has been, you can miracle, miracle, miracle. You can get something for nothing. You can put it up. Yeah, it's there. Yeah. So you can get something for nothing. The thing we have been hearing from these our pastors is that you can get something for nothing. You know, just need miracle, just need blessing, miracle blessing. And that is like, just come for blessing, just come for prayers. And that's why our people don't walk. We are not hearing work hard. We are not hearing, diligence. We are not hearing about the dignity of labor. We are not hearing about how to, okay, for example, in Nigerian churches, I showed you this book, right? And this book was talking about where there is problem, there is money. Look for problems. This book is about look for problems. Look for problems. But in Nigerian churches, they don't tell you that look for problems. They tell you come and you get rid of your problems. We will pray for you. If you have problems, it means you don't have faith. If you have problems, it means that, God is against you. You are not on God's side. But that is the opposite. If you want the country to get developed, you have to tell them problems is your shortcut. You have to teach them the skills on how to convert problems into money. That's why we said where there is problem, there is money. You have to also teach people how to convert problems into elevation, into development. This is what this book is about. This is in how to convert problems, how to love problems, look for problems, and convert problems into development. And how to convert problems into money. This is what countries who have developed, these are the principles they use to develop. But in Nigeria, problem, as if problem is a cause. As if you have problem, they will say it's some demon somewhere, some spirit somewhere, then let's pray for you. They are rather making you to think that you shouldn't have problems. Because that is a falling culture. It is rather the culture that embraces problems, that is challenged to tackle problems. That is the country that gets developed. But the value system we are being preached is the opposite. So you do not be deceived. God is not mocked. Whatsoever a man sows, that he will reap. What the pastors are sowing into the ears of our country men, that's what we are reaping. If we are reaping corruption, it's because corruption is being sown. If we are reaping underdevelopment, it is because underdevelopment is being sown. If we are reaping graft is being sown. What we are reaping is the mentality of 419, is because of the 419 messages being sown. It is this kind of messages that we are preaching that is leading to us becoming who we have become. So what they are hearing, what our people are hearing, is that it is possible to reap where you have not sown. The national psyche of Nigeria today is more like, if it is good for me now, it doesn't matter what happens later. That's what we see on that Ibadan-Lagos Express Road. It is good for the churches, it doesn't matter what happens to all other people. Let them go to, I'm sorry, people would rather say let them go to hell. That's what the pastors are telling us. All those churches on the Lagos Ibadan Road that are causing this hold up, can you imagine the consequences to the economy? You want to go and sign contracts, you cannot. You want to go and deliver, you cannot. You want to go and travel, you cannot. You want to do just because somebody wants to pray. Why should me and my desire to pray hinder your own progress in life? Why should my own desire to go and get miracle hinder your own success, hinder your own travel, hinder your own business, hinder your own health? And do you imagine how many people have had accident on that Ibadan Lagos road? Can you imagine how many people have been having accidents, have been dying, just because these pastors have just crowded that road out of order? I remember before those churches began to do that, when I was in the country, that road was the freest. Ibadan Lagos road was the freest 30 years ago. There was never hold up there. It's an express. But today, people are getting accidents. People are even dying in the go slow. Just because these pastors are callous. And these churches are callous. They don't even care. They don't even think about what is happening to the people. They will now tell you, our federal government doesn't allow us. No, not lie. If you really want, if you really consider it, if you really put the interest of others above your own, like Christianity has taught us, you will find a way of not causing havoc for all the rest of the people. But because our value system is this is not a value system, this is a vice. If that the mentality we have is, if it is good for me, as long as this situation is good for the churches, all these churches that are causing go slow there, because it is good for them, it doesn't matter what happens to others. The reason why G.O. Adeboye went to intercede for these, bankers is because it is good for them, it is good for him, it is good for the church, it is good for the offering, for the reputation of the church. As long as it is good for us, it doesn't matter what happened to the millions of Nigerians that cannot go to school, that cannot pay, they cannot go to get the hospital. All the people's money they have stolen, it doesn't matter what has happened to the whole country as long as it's good for us. This is the mentality we're having right now. And this mentality is what is aiding corruption. It is what is spreading graft. It is what is spreading all evil that we have in the country. We must get rid of this mentality that if it is good for me, especially now, it doesn't matter what happens to the rest. That is what we are having. And that is the problem of pastors and churches. They just want to collect your offering. They just want to collect your tithe and offering. They are just interested in your money. Bring right now. If you die after of cancer later on, they don't care. Like we were talking about yesterday, somebody called and said there is somebody right now, a pastor of an American of RCCG in America, who is having cancer. They are not even, as rich as that country is, they are not even cannot even find money for his treatment. What are they doing? They said, "Oh, let's go and do raise fund something.
Fundraising.
Go fund me." And there is another one that just died from winners. They didn't even get money to go and do the hospital bills because go and have faith. So it is callous. It is wickedness. We don't have Christianity. That is called Christianity without values. Let's see the topic of the day. We must get rid of religiosity without values. What we are practicing right now is religion without values. These are the urgent measures that we must take to get our continent back and to get our country back. To get back the African church, we must begin to practice church in a way that we emphasize more on the values than on the miracles. Okay? Hebrews 13:5 says, "Let your conduct be without covetousness." And we want to tell me that the conduct of the church is without covetousness? It's all about covetousness. It's all about, it's mammon. Mammon as I judge the church in Nigeria and Africa. He said, be content with such things as you have. How can you say a church is content when we have 4 offerings in a day? Service every day and you are taking offering all the time. How can we say we are content? We are not content. How can you say you are content if Warren Buffett is saying that he doesn't even need a private jet, and somebody is buying 2-3 private jets? How can we be talking about being content in such a case? How can you say we are being content when we are just talking about this branch, that property, that's a property, but when we are supposed to be talking about people? For he himself, God, has said, "I will never leave you nor forsake you." God has said, don't bother, be content. But it's because we are not believers. If we are believers, we will trust in God. If we are believers, we will trust what he has said, that he will never leave us nor forsake us. We will not be depending on offering from people. The people's offering will not sustain us. We will not put too much burden on people. If we really believe in God, that he said, "I will never leave you nor forsake you," we will trust God. We will trust God to provide for us. We will trust God to meet our needs and not put heavy loading on people. Pastors' lifestyles, the lifestyle of our pastors in Nigeria, the messages of our pastors, the testimonies that are coming from churches. I never used to have this testimony when I was in Nigeria. When I was born again in Nigeria, there were no testimonies like this. All these are cooked testimonies, tailored testimonies, arranged testimonies to just make sure that you keep coming and you keep bringing money. So all this lifestyle, the messages, the testimonies are all geared towards covetousness. So covetousness is the value system that's coming from our pulpit. Is the height of moral breakdown of a country. Covetousness. Actually, maybe we should, you have some things about money, about covetion, about what pastors are saying. Let's see some of the videos to show, let's see what some of these pastors are doing. Just for you to know that these are not just my thoughts that I'm bringing forward. They are not just my thoughts. It's not just about covetousness, about money, but about everything. You will see covetousness everywhere. Even in their testimonies and their miracles, all talking about covetousness. Let's see this one here. Please. Is it me? Go on, go on. I want to help you by taking your money and then pouring water on you. What is all this madness is just because of money. You see, people are bringing money to the state. Can you show it? And then pouring money on them, and and because of the covetousness of the people themselves, they too are covetous. They too want quick fix. They want to give $5 and receive $500. It's all about covetousness. So it is the old it's me you should show. The old covetous nature and message that is coming from the pulpit is what is messing up the church in Nigeria. All messages is all geared towards money and covetousness. It's all about covetousness. So we're going to see another video right now. So let's put the video on. You see the people carrying bags? Because he told them to bring out their bags and their credit cards and their bags, everything, that they will all find miracle money in their bags by the time they get up. So they don't need to work. They don't need to, pay the price. They don't need to be diligent. They don't need to be work hard. They don't need to be faithful. They don't need to do anything. Just go to the man of God. And this is basically at the root and of the heart of all the messages we're preaching in Africa these days. All this charismatic church, it might not be about money. This one in particular is about money, but it's not always about money. It might be a miracle. Sometimes they call it miracle. Sometimes they call it breakthrough. Sometimes they call it, somebody will do this, somebody will get this, somebody will do this. Yeah, you see, and they are expecting it. So they are all greedy. Greed has become their culture. Greed has become the culture of the whole congregation. This in all of Africa now going on. Greed is not the culture of hard work. It's not the dignity of labor. Where is that book about dignity of labor? Give me. The only thing that can develop a nation is dignity of labor. You see, that's what the book is about. And that's why I have hope in Africa, because when we begin to release these kind of books in Nigeria, and they are already released, anybody who wants, who can supply Nigeria with these things, by the time people begin to read them, Nigeria will begin to be transformed. By the time people begin to know how to convert problem to money, convert problem to prominence, all these things will begin to change, because we now have principles and know exactly what to do with all these situations that we have that are coming. But when the mentality is, no, you don't need to work hard for anything, just come for blessing and for special anointing, then that's corruption. It only leads to corruption. What was this one?
5:25. I declare your ears will hear good news. Your ears
Stop.
Good news.
Okay, your ears will hear good news. On what basis? You see, it's corruption. You don't need to work. You don't need to be qualified. You don't need to sign contract. You don't need to produce goods. You don't need to do quality. You don't need to be the best in the world. You don't need to invent anything. You don't need to go to the library. You don't need to go to the laboratory. Somebody will say, "No, but he didn't say that." Yes, he didn't say it, but this we are human. This is on the subconscious level. If you could just come to church and somebody will say you will get it without doing those things, of course, human nature wants to get something for nothing. Even though he didn't say directly that, you don't need to go to the library, but that's what it implies. Because you didn't do anything, you just come and show up and you say you get all these things. That is graft. That is corruption. And that is why the mindset of the people is that they don't need to work hard. The mindset of the people now is saying it is only fools that will be working hard. Why should I work hard when God can just bless me? Which is against the nature of God. Even God is working hard. Jesus is working hard. And what are you as preachers preaching? Is religion without virtues. Religion without value system. Go and live in London and be saying you just be praying and not go to work. You will die of hunger. Play.
News. Proverbs 25:25. Your ears will hear good news. I said your ears will hear good news. As water is to a thirsty man, so is good news from far country. Somebody here, the news you've been waiting for. Malida Nicola Bobosi. Lishtayarabosa. God will make it better. God will make it better. God will do it better. God will give you better. Somebody shout good news. Victory sanctuary. Victory sanctuary.
Stop. The way the message is supposed to be is to have taught people, hello, hey. You are supposed to be teaching people the principles that will automatically lead you to those results. You don't need to proclaim. You don't need to. Who proclaim again all those victories and good news over, Bill Gates or Warren Buffett? Nobody proclaim anything. They just know the principle. God has already put the laws and the principles in place. Just work hard. Just be diligent. Just follow those principles. Once you have values, they are called values. Once you have the right values, just live by the right values. You will not need all these preachers to be proclaiming any blessings on you. You don't need any preacher or any pastor to proclaim any blessing or breakthrough. You don't need anything. Just follow the values. Just live, abide by the value systems. You want to see us to see more? Okay, another one. Okay, let's continue with my notes then. So, but the pastor's lifestyles, the messages that are coming from our pulpit, the testimonies that are coming from our pulpit are all geared towards covetousness. Is the height of moral breakdown in our country. Ecclesiastes 5:10 says, "He who loves silver," and our people love silver, especially pastors. You cannot convince me that pastors in Nigeria don't love silver. He who loves silver will not be satisfied with silver, you say. No, he who loves abundance, and our people, they are only bragging about the abundance. Oh, our GO is going to build the biggest estate in Nigeria of residential estate, as if the people will be able to afford it. Why are you rejoicing that your GO is going to build, or your bishop is going to build the biggest residential? Are you going to afford it? Are you going to be able to live there? You didn't deceive yourself. You know land yet. Have they not built the biggest university, the best university here? Are your children studying there? You know the land? Or is it, what's the language? You know the land? You know the land? You know the land from the thing where they pass? That one no enough for you, no be enough for you. That the school, primary school, you cannot send your children there. Secondary, your children cannot go. University, your children cannot go. Now they talk about the residents, and you are the rejoice. Oh, just like the ones that are rejoicing that our President Chris, our Pastor Chris, got private jet. As if you go, they fly on it. What is your own problem? Well, even if you get private jet, what's your own, where is your joy coming from? What is your own benefit from there? You tell me about the benefit. You go fly in there. And even me, who is criticizing that your pastor, I have better chance of flying there than you yourself, who is not criticizing. Because if your pastor, that's your Chris now, knows that I am ready to pick his telephone and talk to him, he go fly the jet right here. Or if he hears that I'm inviting him to come and visit me, I am the one that will fly that jet first before you. Because that's your Chris, he's the one looking for me to be my friend. So if I tell you, okay, you come here, friend, he will bring any jet he will. But you are rejoicing, you are only rejoicing on the internet and putting on YouTube or Facebook, putting articles, posting, our pastor has gotten private jet. The one you will never see for himself, talk less of sit down there. Go and read what Aarons wrote now. You know how much it costs to maintain one aircraft? To maintain one aircraft is $1.4 million. Parking, the oil, the service, everything. To maintain one aircraft in a year is $1.4 million. So $1.4 million will build hospitals. So it will build 2 hospitals in a year. It will be 2 international world something hospital in a year. So if by the time you do 8 years of that kind of maintenance, you can build hospital in every state. So instead of building hospitals, building schools for free and all that, they are maintained just to service, not to buy another one. No. This is just to service it. Just like you are servicing your car. How much does it cost you to service your car in a year? Maybe $1,000? The same way it's costing you $1,000, that's the way it's costing the 1.something million to service an aircraft. And what about if your Geo is having 2 or 3? You calculate that 1.4 million US to service only. Even if you don't fly, just to service and maintain it. And you are saying these people have conscience? You are telling me these people have conscience? You are telling me these people have conscience? And the people are the ones dancing. They are doing praise and worship, thanksgiving, because you bought aircraft. And you know where those money that is servicing is coming from your pocket. You think they come from their pocket? No. Because that's why they are doing offering every day now. That's why they are doing offering every Sunday, so that you will be servicing their private jet, the one where you no go see. And they are telling you it is God you they give to. And you are thinking it is God you give to. And it is the private jets that are being serviced. So, but he who loves silver, our people love silver too much, will not be satisfied with silver. That's why it's waste of time to be teaching people about breakthrough, money, all those things. To be talking about this big university, new estate, new jet. They are waste of time because you will never be satisfied with silver. And then those who love abundance, and in Nigeria it's only about abundance. The largest, the largest auditorium, the largest this, the biggest church, the biggest crowd, the largest jet, the largest this, abundance. He who loves abundance, it is all about abundance. Our whole boasting is about abundance. I have this, I have this, I have this, I have this. You see, but he who loves abundance will never be satisfied with abundance. He who loves increase will never be satisfied with increase. This also is vanity. Everything that our people are boasting on, they are vanity. All the things we are supposed to be boasting about is how we take care of vulnerable people. What we are supposed to be loving and be boasting about is how we take care of the homeless, how we take care of the beggars, how we give the mad people out of the street, how we send the fatherless people to school, how we take care of the widows, how we take care of the country. Those are the things we should be loving and be talking about. But that's not what Nigerian preachers talk about. And that's why the country has become like that too. Religion without virtues and values. In the mind of the people, as long as they are not smoking or drinking, even pastors, this is our religiosity. As long as you are not smoking or drinking or having illicit sex, then you are a Christian. Which is rubbish. A lot of unbelievers also don't smoke, don't drink, and they don't have illicit sex, but they are going to hell. The same with a lot of Christians. You see, that is not Christianity. Christianity is about your virtues, your value systems. Not knowing that being a Christian is much deeper than the surface knowledge of just going to church and not smoking or not drinking. Yeah. Mark 7:20-23. And he said, what comes out of a man defiles a man. For from within, out of the heart of man, proceed evil thoughts, adulteries. You see, it's about values. That's talking about value system. It's not about smoking or drinking. It's about value system from the state of the heart, what is coming from within. But Nigerian people, Christians, are always bragging about outward look, how you look outside, what you do outside, what you have, what you possess. But Jesus wants us to be careful more about our state of heart. For from within, out of the heart of man, proceed evil thoughts, adulteries, fornication, murder, theft, covetousness, wickedness, deceit, lewdness, and evil eye, blasphemy, pride, foolishness. All these evil things come from within and defile a man. It is the state of the heart that our pastors are supposed to be preaching about more. So that all these things will not be coming from our heart. All this wickedness, deceit, lewdness, evil eye, blasphemy, pride, foolishness. All these things are all in all Christians in Africa. Envy, jealous, all those things are there. They are coming from within. Even though it might not be smoking or drinking. There are things that are worse. Covetousness is worse than all those things we are talking about, smoking or drinking. Even though we shouldn't be smoking or drinking, but covetousness, these are the things Jesus is talking about here. Things that are coming from within, lust, covetousness, lust of the eyes, lust of the flesh, pride of life. Those are the things that defile a man. If truth be told, our churches have largely contributed to the corruption in our nation. And that is what that man, Sanusi, has confirmed. Our messages of instant gratification have led to a generation of people who only want to see instant results. Those are the 419s, the drug pushers, the MMMs. Immediate relief and painless profit. That's what we want. Instant results, immediate relief, and painless profit. That's what miracles, breakthrough, emphasis on miracles and breakthrough. That's what it promises. Instant results, immediate relief, and painless profit, which is impossible. Painless profit is theft. Painless profit is armed robbery. Painless profit is fraud. Immediate relief is miracle. Instant result is lotto or lottery. And that's what our churches are promising, because that's what pastors are getting. Instant results from offering, tithe and offering. They don't work for it, they just show up on Sunday and everybody bring their tithe and offering. That's why instant result is loved by the pastors. And then the people copy their pastors. Jeremiah 6:13, because from the least of them, even to the greatest of them, everyone is giving to covetousness. That's the state of our country right now. From the least to the greatest, everyone is giving to covetousness. That's what we must battle. Covetousness is killing Nigeria. Greed, covetousness. Want to have something without qualifying for it. And from the prophet to the priest, everyone deals falsely. This is the state of our country right now. Everyone is dealing falsely. From the prophet to the priest, everyone is a liar in Nigeria. And the same thing, the covetousness is just a national disease now. Those are the things religions are supposed to tackle for us. That is the purpose of religion. Religion is supposed to help get rid of these things, but rather it's religion that is spreading these things in Nigeria. For our youth to change, or for our people to change, our messages must change. The messages we preach in our pulpits must change. For our nation to change, our pulpit must change. We must change our message. Our pastors must change. They must change their emphasis, their messages for our country to change. Because the values of the nation comes from the pulpit. Mark 8:36 says, "For what will it profit a man if he gains the whole world and loses his own soul?" We will not take those buildings to heaven. We will not take the planes and the jets to heaven. We will not take the properties to heaven. Let's give it. Let's use them to benefit people, not just to build our own reputation and names. We must begin to deliver relevant messages which are capable of building a healthy nation and future. So we must focus on messages that are leading to national development. Messages like hard work. Messages like, okay, give me this book. You remember I just finished HMT on personalities. This is the book on it. Where are the heroes? I'm receiving letters. I've received letters from Zambia. In fact, 2 letters from Zambia, from America, from England, about people who read this book. These values will change people and bring more results and lead to the development of people and nations than all the magics that were promising people. These are values to develop the personalities, to make people become heroes. I have another one here. Life is an opportunity. Those are the things we must be teaching from our pulpits. Subjects like how to take advantage of opportunities. Teach people what is opportunities. How to turn every situation they are into opportunities. Teach them on things like what to do with your time, so that they will not waste their time. How to maximize their time. How to convert time to money. How to convert time to virtues. These are the kind of things you should be teaching to people in church. Things like no one is better than you. These are the kind of values we should be teaching in our churches. But what are we doing? We are just promising miracles for nothing. But we should be teaching them values. We must begin to deliver relevant messages which are capable of building healthy nations. Somebody has said, what are the messages? Get the books. It's not just because they are my books, but just for you to know at least what to talk about. Because a lot of my pastor friends, I say, Pastor, we don't know what to teach about again. If we teach, we don't know. If we stop teaching about this thing, what do we talk about? Get these books. They will teach you. Will find what to teach about. Isaiah 42:1. Behold, my servant, whom I uphold, my elect one, in whom my soul delights. I have put my spirit upon him. He will bring forth justice for the Gentiles. That is the book about justice. Where is it? This is it. This book is about 4 things. It's about raising up personalities that will live for justice, for truth, for equity, and for righteousness. This is about how to raise up generation of people that will live for justice, live for truth, live for equity, and live for righteousness. This is what this book is about. But we don't know how to even teach those things. We don't even know those things are in the Bible. Or this one, no one is better than you. This is for you, for how to raise up the new generation of people that are the best in everything they do. In industry, in technology, in invention, in everything. Those are the things the churches are supposed to be talking about. Not just giving empty promises to people. Instead of messages that are only promising blessings, miracles, breakthroughs, and wonders, we must replace these messages with preaching on virtues. You see, those books that I'm showing you, they are on virtues. Can you give me other books there? You know, these are books on virtues, the laws of difference. We bring this other one you have here. 7 tips to fulfillment in life. These are virtues. These are all virtues. Look for messages on virtues. not on miracles. Miracles, they just come by God. God provides miracles. When you live by virtues, miracles will come automatically. So we must begin to replace all the messages of miracles and instant gratification by the messages on virtues. That's why I'm writing so many books, so that you will know what to talk about. We must replace the old things with the new ones. We must replace these messages with preaching on virtues, such as hard work. Like I showed you, where is it? The dignity of labor. Is it somewhere here? Yeah, this is what they used to develop Europe. Dignity of labor, hard work, creativity. You know, that no one is better than you. Creativity. Where is that creative and inventive power of a genius? You must begin to teach in our pulpits creativity. That's why I wrote this book. The creative and innovative power of a genius is creativity. Teach people creativity. Dedication. Do we have anyone on dedication? What to do with your time? Dedication. Dedicate your time to creating something. Dedication. Commitment. You know, only God can save Nigeria. Is it there? Yeah, that's it. Only God can save Nigeria. You see it there? You see, that's commitment. Not just wait for miracles. Teach people about commitment. Perseverance. Perseverance. The law of difference. We teach you about perseverance. I have, prominence. The problems through perseverance. Prominence through problems. All these things will help you to be able to diligence how Nigeria economy can, how to build the greatest country in the world. The greatest country in the world. How to make Nigeria the greatest country in the world. These are the principles that will lead to it. Commitment, perseverance, diligence. All these are the principles in these books. These are the things that will lead a country or a nation to become, the greatest country in the world. Or to be able to overtake the American economy. Responsibility. These are the kind of things, virtues that will make a country develop. These are virtues that lead to development of a nation. There are 3 videos I sent you yesterday. Yesterday, we showed you 2. There's one more left. You get that one ready. These are the virtues we need to be developing. You will know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes from thorn bushes, or from fig from thistles? No, it's by their fruit. It is what you put in people that they give you back. There is no way that miracle will not happen. People will not get miracles if you are teaching them about instant gratification. They will not become diligent. If you are teaching them about instant gratification, they will not become geniuses. They will not become creative. They will not become innovative. If you are teaching them about miracles, breakthrough, they will not become innovative. You have to teach them. It is what you teach them they will bring out. The lots of difference. It is what you teach them that they will bring out. How to principles of how to build the greatest country in the world. It is what you teach them that they will bring out. I was not talking about my books before, because people are saying, "Oh, he wants to sell books. Oh, he wants to sell books." As if books is what I'm living by. I must let you know that there are opportunities for you to get in these books. Because I'm hearing all these testimonies, and I must let you know that no, you need to get them. Get them if you want. If you don't want, don't get them. But at least there is an option. There is an alternative for you. At least you know that there is something for you to be able to get. Yeah, are you ready for the book with the video? Let's see the video. What are the qualities that bring to development? Not this one. Okay, so we are going to show you one of the videos that is going to talk about. It's on Skype. She sends it to you. We'll see principles that bring about national development and growth. And these things have to be spoken about by the pastors. We have to change our messages from messages of instant gratification, miracles, breakthrough, into principles that can lead to economic growth and national development. Okay, please let's do it.
This is a film about the perfect country. It doesn't yet exist, and it may never, but thinking about it is no idle daydream. Sketching utopias is a way to address current problems and understand how to solve them. Focusing on the ideal version of something helps us clearly define what we feel is wrong with what we have. Utopias bring our plans for reform into focus. Here, therefore, are a few glimpses of what the best place in the world might be like. In a perfect country, people are, perhaps surprisingly, still very busy working. Everyone isn't on holiday while robots do the work. That's because people know.
Let it be. You see, people are busy talking, the first condition to develop a developed country, a perfect country, a developed economy, no perfect country in the world, but any country that is going to grow, be civilized and be developed, it has to be about money, about work. You have to put emphasis on work. The dignity of labor. I wrote another book that is called Urgently Become a Workaholic. It is about the culture of work, the culture of diligence, the culture of hard work, the dignity of labor. These are the culture that bring about development. That's why I wrote this book. I don't think you'll find another book like this in the market. Maybe there are, but not in Nigeria for sure. That's why I'm writing these books. These are virtues that bring about developed nations. They know what to do with their time. What do you do with your time? These are principles that bring about development of a nation. These are what pastors are supposed to be talking about. Go ahead.
In a perfect country, people are, perhaps surprisingly, still very busy working.
Stop.
Everyone
busy working, mental work, intellectual work. That's the focus of developed nations.
Everyone isn't on holiday while robots do the work.
You see, stop. Everyone isn't on holiday just resting. That's what people think. If you go to Nigeria, they say, oh, you are in London, I enjoy you. You are enjoying, oh, you are in Europe, you enjoy you. They think people are enjoying in Europe. They think people are enjoying in America. You in America. So everybody wants to run away to America or to Europe because they think they will enjoy. It's a lie. In developed countries, it's all about work. Even in developed countries where they have money, they still work harder than in our countries where they don't have money. That's what you are supposed to be teaching, not miracles. Because miracles means you are not working. You are just enjoying goodies. That's what our churches have been preaching. That emphasis must change to diligence, work, hard work, service.
That's because people know that when it's the right sort, work can be far more fulfilling than leisure.
Stop. You see? Work is far more fulfilling than leisure. Work is far more fulfilling than leisure. That's why I wrote this book about opportunity. Life is not about rest. Life is not about, enjoyment. It is about taking advantage of opportunities and working all the time. Take advantage, every advantage of opportunity. How I like that guy's call, the one that called from Nigeria last night. I mean, it was such a great testimony. And for those people who have been watching me, who have testimonies like that too, there is a program that I am doing here that is called Kingdom Fruits. That is the program that I use to showcase all the people that have been listening to me for a period of time, and their lives have changed, and they are producing more and doing more for themselves, for their lives. And your life, if you know that your life has changed since you started listening to me, if you know that your lifestyle has changed, you've started having projects, ideas, dreams, and you are doing something with your life, please write to me. Write to me in one of the, just write to one of the Facebook messengers, or you could write to the comment right now that you want to participate in Kingdom Fruits. Because what I do is that I listen to your stories and I blast you to the world. I give you a platform to the whole world. So that whatever you are doing, you find team, you find people like you, people want to support you, go global. I use my platform for you to stand on my shoulders, and I give you a platform to the world. So anybody that is been listening and you want to live for the kingdom, you want to do something with your life, write me. That's what churches are supposed to do. Give territory. Use my reputation. Use my name to promote you. That's what churches are supposed to be doing. Give people opportunities. That's why life is about opportunities. That's why I started that project on Kingdom Fruits. So if you have been listening, you must have something. You must show me that you have passion, you have done something. You must show me some result that you already have or the plans that you are having. Then we'll blast you. We'll give you a whole worldwide platform. Okay.
What people mean by the right sort of work is work that feels meaningful. That is, work that leaves one with a sense at the end of a working day that one's made a genuine improvement to the lives of others.
Stop. You see? The purpose of work in perfect countries is to bring improvement not to their lives, but to the lives of others. Is to add values to others. Life is about giving life, meaning to others. You see, that is, but in Nigeria, it's all about me. What can I get from me? Life is about service. You see, that's why I'm writing all these books. I don't even know which one to talk to you about. Anyway, if you go to Amazon, you'll be able to find my books, or Okada books, or if you just write to dssbook@gmail.com, you'll be able to get a whole list of all my books. Or go to just find the links, find them. Because life is about fulfillment. It's about finding your purpose and be able to, live in your purpose. Not just live for Uncle Sam. You live for your purpose. Live out your purpose on a daily basis. That's what life is all about. And that's what brings about, which is when a lot of people in the country are enjoying their work, are working to bring fulfillment, not looking for their own good alone, but for the good of others. That is the opposite of the value system we're having in Nigeria right now. In Nigeria, if it is good for me, I don't care. That is why the GO went to talk, to intercede for those bankers, because it is good for us, doesn't care what happened to the whole of Nigeria. That is why Ibadan Lagos Express Road, it is the way it is now, because it is good for us. We are having our prayer, we are meeting with God, we are getting miracles. It doesn't matter what happens to the whole of Nigeria. It is good for us. That is the opposite of the values that develop a nation. For a nation to really be developed, it must be the opposite. The good of others. We must first of all seek the good of others. What makes things better for others. We work to make life better for others, to make life good for others. Only after that, we know that when we make things good for others, we ourselves will be better off. That is the purpose of life. And those are the value systems that we must begin to propagate in our pulpit. Right now, the covetous culture that we are propagating is only leading to covetousness, greed, graft, corruption, and evil. Yeah.
And that one's done so through the exercise of some of one's distinctive and higher talents and skills. That's a lot more fun than sunbathing. To get to this point in the perfect country, a lot of time is spent drilling into people's characters from an early age.
Character from an early age. That you have to work to make good, for the good of others. That's why the West is the way it is. The West is the way it is because they know from an early age that life is about contributing. What are you going to contribute to the society, to the good of others, working for the good of the larger society, bringing forth good service? Not about me. We need to change all our psyche, all the way our educational system, everything is set up to begin to propagate in our churches, in our pulpits, in our educational system, in our media, because the values of a nation come from 4 places. The value system of a nation comes from the pulpit of the nation. So our pulpits must change, and we must begin to propagate the value system that lead to development and growth. That's from the pulpit. Then these same values must be propagated by the media. The media of the land, like the Nollywood, entertainment, must all be talking about these virtues of opportunities, of hard work, of dignity of labor, of conversion, of all these virtues that lead to development of nations. Those are the values that the media is supposed to be propagating. Then the educational system is supposed to also be propagating the same thing. Then the families are supposed to be propagating these same values. And then that is how a nation is changed. But we must all, like in a concertly, agree and bring these values to every sphere of life. That is how we could change and build a new nation. Until we all begin to talk in unison about these values of dignity, of labor, of diligence, of hard work, of faithfulness, of responsibility, until we begin to propagate it and forget about these other values that don't bring to development. Nothing will change in our country.
From an early age, in order to determine what sort of work they'd be best suited to.
You see,
Realizing the potential.
you see, calling, purpose. It's supposed to be the teachings on purpose. I should have some books on calling on purpose. Who am I? I have a book that is called Who Am I? That everybody who reads it, it helps them to discover who they are. Those kind of books are supposed to be from primary school, secondary school. It's supposed to be everywhere so that everybody will know who they are from when they are very small. So once they begin to know who they are, they know how to go to university, they know they are going to university to become who God has put them to be. And then they begin to walk, and they are walking by their calling, and they come to fulfillment. Yes.
Be best suited to. Realizing the potential of every worker is pretty much the national priority.
You see, national priority. National priority is to make everybody walk to their fullest potential, to discover their calling, their potential, and to be able to fulfill it. It's a whole program. It's an informed thing that churches are supposed to be talking about. These principles are coming from the Bible. These are all coming from the Bible. And these principles, our pastors are not even seeing them in the Bible, as if they are not in the Bible. The only thing they see in the Bible are miracles, miracles, miracles. Elijah did this, Elijah did this, Jesus turned water to wine. But Jesus was preaching most of the time. 80% of the time, Jesus was teaching on the kingdom. Teaching, and these are all virtues of the kingdom. And these are the things that bring about national growth and development. Okay?
The perfect country is rife with a new breed of entrepreneur. Like the entrepreneurs of old, they want to make money, but they want something else too, to properly and deeply satisfy their customers.
So, you see, that is why I wrote these books. Problems. You see, entrepreneurship is all around problems. Solving problems for others. We should see that solving problems, we should not be running away from. In Nigeria, we have built a country where people are afraid of problems. We should rather build a country where people love solving problems. Bring that. Entrepreneurship is built around problems. That where there is problem, there is money. We should let people know that business, entrepreneurship, people shouldn't be looking for job after university. People in Nigeria are finishing university, they are looking for job. Nobody should be looking for job. Job is all about fulfilling your calling, looking for problem to solve for people, looking for problem to solve for society, looking for problem to solve for the whole nation. It is about resolving problems, solving problems. That is the basis of entrepreneurship. If we will teach our people to love problems, then entrepreneurship will grow automatically. These are why I'm writing these strategic books. Yeah, go ahead.
There's no selling of bullshit here, even if it flatters the balance sheet. Naturally, aiming to make a profit while doing something meaningful is a very hard double act to pull off. That's why entrepreneurs are so lauded here. It's deeply taboo to be a philanthropist in perfect land because having enormous surplus wealth is generally a sign you've probably been extracting rather too much cash from your business and have not been courageous enough to risk money investing in properly meaningful goals.
You see? They are not interested in money. It's not about money. It's about the problem you are resolving. That's in a normal country, when you have too much money and you are floating your money, it's as a result of bad manners. But in Nigeria, people will be, spraying money left, right, and center. Everybody want to flood their money. They want to buy jet. They want to buy this and that. It's because they don't have values. It's because they don't know how to create net worth. They have money, but they don't have net worth. That's why I wrote this book. How to create your net worth. Not just about money, it's about the worth of it, the net worth. So when you create your net worth, you are not just getting money, but you have value for what you have. The same thing, poverty mindset and abundance mindset. Our people are living in poverty mindset, even though they could be transferred to abundance mindset and live. Anyway, a lot of things to talk about. How to regain your lost years, A lot of things to talk about. I have all these books here. These are not even 10% of my books. I have more books. And these are books that anyone that has read my book, just read one, you will know that these are not just ordinary books. Just one, any one of them, take it and read. If your life will not be changed, is give back money.
In a perfect country, respect is given not just for becoming wealthy, but for how serious the problem was that you fixed.
Stop. It's not about becoming wealthy, but how serious problem you are fixing. You see, he confirmed this. Where there is problem, there is money. It confirms this. Problems is a shortcut to prominence. It confirms this. Create your own network. So I'm not just writing more books. I'm writing books that are geared at values. Values that will bring about national development, progress, and transformation. And this, the same with this, how to regain your lost years. And all the books I'm writing is about bringing about, destroying ignorance and destroying those values that don't bring about development and to lead to development. That's why this book, Mountain of Ignorance, is a must for everybody. Everybody must read this book. Because ignorance is what is ruling our continent right now. Yeah.
Was that you fixed while making your wealth.
Stop. Okay, let's stop at that and let's go back to my notes. What time is it? Is it 11?
5 past 11. 7 past 11.
Okay, let's read one more scripture and then I will open the line for the calls. Matthew 7:16. You will know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes from thorn bushes or fig from thistles? If you don't teach the right principles, you will never get the right country. If you are teaching the wrong value system, the wrong principles, you'll get the country that is broken, that is corrupt, that is falling, that is regressed. You will never get the right country. To get the right country, it depends on what we are teaching people, the value system we are propagating. And everything comes from the value system that we preach. I'm going to open the call now let's show some videos meanwhile while we are going to open the calls for the people who want to get my books. The way to get the books is go to Amazon, Amazon.com or Okada Books, or just if you want the physical books, just write to dssbooks.com. dssbooks at gmail.com. dssbooks@gmail.com. Just write to that or write in the comments below and you'll be able to get the books. Yeah, what are these ones?
After all these special manifestations of the power of God. So in Exodus chapter 11, verse 1 to 9. Exodus 11, 1 to 9. God told Moses one more miracle. And then you will be free. One more miracle. He said, I'm going to kill all the firstborn of Egypt, and then your victory will come. I'm believing God for someone that one extra miracle that you need for you to remain eternally victorious will happen this weekend. But then God now said to Moses, before that one extra miracle, there must be a meal. Exodus chapter 12, verse 21 to 23. Exodus 12, 21 to 23. So the children of Israel gathered for that special meal. And to them it was not an ordinary meal. It was the meal that precedes the final miracle that leads to victory. Because by the time they finished the meal, in Exodus chapter 12, from verse 20 to 26.
I think I'm done. Good.
Exodus 12.
I think I'm done with that video. You see the emphasis? Miracle. It's like the only thing our pastors see in the Bible is miracle breakthrough. But, yes, God is a miracle working God. Yes, miracles are possible. But if you be putting emphasis on miracles, it doesn't benefit, it develops vices in people. It doesn't lead to development. It leads to vices. It leads to evil. It leads to breakdown of the culture, of the economy. It leads to national, breakdown. It doesn't lead to development. It is virtues, the preaching of virtues and value systems that lead to development. Please, let's get the calls. If you want to contribute, go to Facebook Messenger. Not Facebook, but Facebook Messenger. Facebook Messenger. Go to Facebook Messenger and you'll be able to see move agents. There is a word, move agents. Yeah, so look for move agents there. When you find move agents, then you'll be able to write there and write that I want to call. Move agents Matic. Say I want to call, and then, we'll be able to call in. Okay, we have a caller here.
Doctor, it is Pastor Johnny King from Vancouver, Canada.
How are you, sir?
Good, sir. Oh, Lord. Every time I'm connected to you, it's like, new ideas, my mind just gets blown every time.
Because you are a lover of truth, sir.
I am. The truth, the Bible says, makes free.
Yes.
Sir, in what you are saying today, I have some summaries, and I'll run them down as fast as I can.
Okay.
Number one, people have forgotten the place of common sense. Scripture in Proverbs. Scripture this is the Living Bible version, in Proverbs 24, verse 3 and 4. The Bible says, any enterprise is built by wise planning, becomes strong through common sense, and profits wonderfully by keeping abreast of the facts. That is Proverbs 24, verse 3 and 4 from the Living Bible. I studied the word. I am a word person. Now,
Johnny,
the reason why people don't
Pastor Johnny,
is because they... Yes, sir.
I'm going to stop you a little bit. I'm very sorry. There is a guy, he's also on this platform. If he's not here now, the wife should be here. It's called Osaro.
Okay.
Osaro.
Yes.
You know, that guy, you must get to know him because you even talk the same way. And two of you are very reasonable. You are, I really want to introduce you to Osaro because two of you have the same spirit.
I actually wrote in a few minutes ago and I said, that platform you are creating, sir, please, I want to be on it.
The Kingdom Fruits.
Yes.
Yeah, it is to highlight new generation of Christians.
Sir, that is who I am. The Bible also says in 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 15, this is from the Amplified, sir. Listen to this. The Bible says, study and be eager and do your utmost to present yourself to God approved, tested by trial, a workman who has no cause to be ashamed. Look at this. Correctly analyzing and accurately dividing, rightly handling and skillfully teaching the word of truth. So people don't study anymore. They just come and say whatever they want to say. See, the script, even God told that they spoke through Daniel. He said, they that know their God. It is in knowing, you have to know. Know that. He said, you shall be strong, and then you do it. Another translation translates exploit to take action.
Yes,
it is through knowledge that you do something. You be strong and you do exploit. The difference, there's a difference between lack of knowledge and ignorance. Now, lack of knowledge is you don't know it, so you are not informed. But ignorance comes from the word to ignore.
Yes.
And to ignore is while you are going, you are seeing the thing, koro. You are seeing that there's a problem, but you ignore the problem and you still enter. And when you are being burned, it is not anybody's fault. It is your ignorance.
Yes.
It's because ignorance is not lack of knowledge. Ignorance is you know what you are doing, but you by yourself enter. The scripture says that they shall know the truth. And the truth that you know will make... I like it when the Bible says make you free instead of set you free. The difference between make and set is make is where the Bible says if any man is in Christ, he's a new person. You become completely transformed. Set free is, okay, you've been locked in prison before. Then somebody comes and opens the door and opens and sets you free. That is, there's still the mindset of slavery. But when you are made free, you are completely eradicated from falsity and you are made new. People don't know their God. People have not really come into the full knowledge of the God they have.
Yes.
People don't. Sir, let me say this. Sir. Do you know that someone said something that the average black man, I'm sorry to say this, I feel offended because I'm even a black man. The average black man, if you want to hide anything from him, put it in a book.
Wow.
The average black man, if you want to hide anything from a black man, put it in a book. The black man will not go in. He will not go and read. Unfortunately, readers are leaders. The Bible even said through Daniel chapter 9, Daniel said, I, Daniel, understood by books. It's true. Let me round up. I know I'm going to keep it. I'm keeping it. I'll just round up with this analogy quickly. Someone said something. He said the Pentecostal Christian is the most gullible person. That they don't think. So the analogy is this, sir. The man was traveling. This is just an analogy. It's not like a real scenario. It's an analogy that a man was traveling and he got to a place where he saw brains for sale. It was a shop that puts an advertisement, brains for sale. So out of curiosity, he goes into the store. And then the guy that is selling the brain had 3 brains in display. One was the Catholic brain, the second was the Protestant brain, and the third one was the Pentecostal brain. The Catholic brain was the cheapest brain because it was used. The Protestant brain was fairly used, so it was in between. But the Pentecostal brain was brand new, so it was the most expensive. It was still wrapped, still 9. So the guy was upset. I said, what do you mean by that? He said, because the Catholic, they think that go to the Vatican, even though they might not be spirit-filled, but most of the things that they do, they use their thing. The Protestants are in between, but they are still progressive. But check out the Pentecostal. The Pentecostal does not think. Everything that goes on, I sense in my spirit. Oh no, I don't. My spirit does not agree with it. When are you going to think? Think. Even God says, whatsoever things are true, virtuous, of good report. The Bible says, think on these things. We don't think. We don't stop to use our brains anymore. No. Even God says, come, let us reason together. The reason together there simply means let's think together. Let's work this thing out by our thought process.
Yes.
God didn't just create. The Bible says he brooded over. Brooding over is a process of meditation, is a problem, or is a process of cogitation, is a process of using the mind to say, if I put the water here, what is going to be the devastation if I shift the land to this place? Okay, if I put the sky on the ground, how bad would it be if the waters are above? That's thinking. God was able to think to know, okay, let me put the sky above, then the waters below. Let me put the mountains to this side and the land to this side. It is thinking. That is who our God is. I'm so offended, sir, that in my only God knows how many years of being a Christian, I have just now come to this realization. I've wasted years, but it's okay. Now that we are knowing these things, sir, put me on that platform. I will shout on the mountaintop that ignorance should stop.
Johnny, you have already spoken yourself into that platform. I'm going to bring you on Kingdom Fruits, and any other person that wants to run and make it in this generation and leave their mark, they are the ones I want in that platform.
Sir,
so,
my heart, like David said, is indicting a good matter. Psalm 35 is 1. My heart is indicting a good matter. I am running with this, sir. Thank you. Please keep up the good work, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. But Maiwa, look into the comments. A lot of people are saying, I too, I want to be there. I want on the platform. That's the Kingdom Fruits, all of them. Please don't leave out anyone, though, so that they will not be angry at me. But I don't mention your name already. Now they could look for. So, but all of you should go and get the books, I think. And you already see it here. It's written DSA's books at Gmail. Those are the new books. But if you're in Nigeria, we have Shioma. And I'm sure Shioma's contact is there. But she doesn't have the new books. So if you're in Nigeria and you don't have you want the new books, you still have to write to DSA. Hello?
Hello, DSA.
That is Brother Isaac.
Are you hearing me?
Very well.
Okay, good. Thank you for the message of today.
Yes, sir.
All along, sir, I've been thinking of how to get this message into Nigeria. We were told yesterday that there is no light and majority of the people are not even hearing what you are saying. So I thought within me that those of us who have the opportunities, like I am going next year, those of us who have the opportunities to go to Nigeria, there is what I term selective penetration strategy. What is this selective strategy? It is catching them young. Going to the church will be effective, but going to maybe primary school or secondary or tertiary schools will be effective for us with all these messages. We cannot allow these messages to die within us. We are impregnated already, and we need to discharge the message. I am, by the grace of God, I'm going to speak in primary school early next year, secondary school, and even university.
Beautiful.
Yes, with this message. And I'm going to reach the unreached with DSS message. And by the grace
one of the ways,
fruit of all this will come to light.
Yeah, one of the ways is to help them download the message, give them the flash drives or the CDs so that they will listen. The more they listen, the better it is for them. So since you can download the message here, why don't you put it on CDs or flash drives and memory sticks and send all those things to those schools so that by the time every student get memory stick, it's just $2. One memory stick is $2 or $3. It's no problem. We could distribute to schools or the CDs. Some CDs are even cheaper than $1 self. And put some messages inside.
That is true. I think I will do that so that they will have a full knowledge of what I'm coming to speak with them.
Yes, sir.
That is very good.
And so that when you are gone also and electricity is gone, they will still be able to listen.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, and God bless you, sir.
Thank you. A lot of people are saying they want to come to Kingdom Fruit. This is not just for Nigerians. So Kingdom Fruit, I'm talking about raising up the next generation of Steve Jobs and Bill Gates. So this is about raising up the next generation of Christians that will rule the world. And there is a book like that, raising up the next generation of Bill Gates and Steve Jobs. They are the next generation of Christians that will rule the world. So the Kingdom Fruits, if you want to know what it is, Kingdom Fruits, go to YouTube, Sunday Adelaja Official, and look for Kingdom Fruits there. There is on the home page, you will see one of the files is called Kingdom Fruit. Go and listen to it. What we demand, what it means. We already had some Kingdom Fruits with other people, so that we will know the demand. And this should be one of the conditions. Let them go and listen so that you will know that these are people who want to change the world. Not just people who want to be Christians and go to church again. No, these are people who want to change the world. How many books have they read? How many things have they started to do? What are the messages they have listened to? What are the plans they want to, what are the impact they want to make in their generation? These are the people we are looking for. I want to raise up a new generation of Christians that will change the world for Christ. Hello? Is that Joy?
Yes, sir, dear sir. How are you?
It's been a while.
Yeah, dear sir. You okay?
Very good.
Okay. Dear sir, my contribution today is, I was once very, very covetous. I won't lie to you.
Okay.
I was this kind of gullible Christian before.
Okay.
Okay, standing in the, as one of the congregants, as one of the people in those churches.
Yes.
And I just thank you so much for the expositories, for opening my eyes, because it's really a lifetime thing. I'm so grateful to God that I am part of this. As you were talking today about this religiosity in the churches.
Yes, yes,
or in the Christendom.
Yes.
This is actually the problem in Nigeria. Okay. The pulpit, if the pulpit messages will change, Nigeria will turn around. Because we Nigerians are the reflections of what comes out of that place. It is always miracle, miracle, miracle. There's no way you go there and say, I don't know why some people will come online here and be talking nonsense that some people are doing this. Can't they look around? Are they blind? What exactly exactly is wrong with them? Like I was listening to Daddy Freeze this morning. He said there was one factory in VI last 2 weeks or thereabout that closed. A church took over. Where are we going with this kind of thing? Church. We are churches. We're not supposed to have those buildings in the first place because there's misplacement of values.
Yes. Yes.
Nobody talks about value. Nobody talks about dedication. Nobody talks about diligence.
Yes.
Nobody talks about commitment. Nothing, dear sir. Everything there is about miracle. How much am I getting? Once it enters my pocket, I don't care.
Yes.
Whoever that is affected, I don't really care. As long as it is for me. One man of God was telling us that we should sow and sow to reap. As you said in Galatians 6 today, whatsoever we sow, that we should reap. We Nigerians are really reaping what we have been sowing from the pulpit. We don't have roads, no library, no talk, nothing. And we're still continuing. Do you know, one of these days I served in Ogun State when I did my what is it called? Youth service. Do you know, one of those days I was coming from Ogun State to Lagos. I was there from morning till 5 a.m. the next morning, DSA, on the road because Redeem or whoever they call themselves blocked the road. See them, they are so wretched, DSA. All their lives are so wretched, and every day they will go and hands up their hands up on ground, trying to receiving what? What are we receiving? What exactly are we receiving? I have been looking at myself. I was so gullible like this. Do you know, sometimes I will so like as if tomorrow there won't be tomorrow. None of them will tell you about, like you taught us that you should be saving for tomorrow. None of them will tell you that. Do you know, one of the church I attended in Nigeria, I was among the people that engineered those women in the church to be contributing money. Every week, everybody should come with 1,000 naira and one person will take the money. Do you know, immediately the pastor heard about it. This pastor said people should be giving 1,000 naira offering every day, every week.
Wow.
That ended the whole thing because it was helping people. I don't know where we are headed to, but all I know is that there's light at the tunnel. A pastor was confronting me today that there are still good ones. I said, yeah, there are still 7,000 remnants. But pastor, are you telling me now that your eyes are so blind to what we are saying here? If you guys will stop all this, your miracle thing, allow these your people to go into inventories, go and start manufacturing. We will come out of university, you carry certificate that they cannot defend and be walking all around the street. I am so sad. If I see anybody, even on my wall, I don't give a damn of what they say. I will insult you. I will bring you down because I was once there. If they refuse to open their eyes, we will kick them, hit them. Whatever we need to do, we will do those things to bring them out. And I'm one of them. I don't care what anybody tells me. My ears are blocked to whatsoever they're saying. I just thank you because I'm still saying it. Anywhere I go, thank God you didn't go to Nigeria. I will still be sleeping, but thank God I'm awake. I appreciate you so much. I am so grateful to what you're doing. They can't do you nothing. If they let them block the airport, you will fly with private jet. Let them go to hell. Whatever they are planning, they cannot harm you. Whomsoever God is with, they cannot do you nothing because you're with the absolute truth. That is the undiluted truth. The undiluted truth, nobody can do anything about it. Thank you, dear sir.
Thank you so much. You are so much on fire. Thank you so much. I think it's good that I started talking about the books because people might not even know I have all these titles. Because, and it is that guy yesterday that inspired me. That guy, he said, he was sitting down in churches for years. But for this 1 year, from June, for less than a year, for these 6 months, what he's been able to do in his business, just because he got the right information. Hello? Hello?
Good evening, dear sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, good evening, sir.
Yes, where are you calling from? Who is calling, please?
Yes, I am Pastor King, and I'm calling from Spain.
Yes, sir.
From Madrid, Spain.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I've been following this platform for quite some time, but I've not called since. I've just been listening and learning. I just want to appreciate God for what He's doing through you, because this thing has been in my mind. But you don't know how to go about it sometimes, But I started a platform, to preach. I have a platform on Facebook and on YouTube, Reconciliation TV,
Beautiful.
where I teach about some of these errors that goes on in the church, regarding the teachings of today and the day before yesterday, and all the teachings on the value system. I must say that our pulpit in Nigeria and Africa has contributed to the underdeveloping of Africa.
Yes.
Because when Jesus was talking to the apostles about the Holy Ghost, He said, when the Spirit of truth is come, He will teach you all things.
Yes, sir.
But we have limited the Holy Spirit to only binding demons, killing our enemies, and getting miracle money.
It's so true.
You find that it is one man get preacher and all the rest of the congregation, nobody. How can you come to a congregation where the pastor is preacher and everybody in the congregation?
Yes.
Wrong.
Yes.
Since the advent of this prosperity preaching in Nigeria, how many of our church pupils have become innovators and inventors and great business men who have come up with creative ideology?
Yes. Wow.
Hello, sir.
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Yes. None. We have none. It is like we have none. All we have here is miracle money, and this has made the people lazy. People don't believe in hard work anymore. They just believe sow seed, get money. Sow seed, get money. God have now become a lottery ball where you come to play lottery with €1 to win 100 million euros. Hello?
Yes, go ahead, sir.
Yes, sir. So people are playing kalo kind of with God, and it's not fair. And I've been through this. I've been a victim of sowing to expect miracles, but these things don't work. If you don't work hard to make things work for yourself, I don't think you're going to be a millionaire.
Yes.
You sow seed, and at the end of the day, you become poor, and you make somebody else rich. And these people don't care. Once it is okay for them, as you rightly said during the teaching, once it is okay for them, once it is working for me, everything is fine with me, every other person can go and die. That's an act of wickedness. They have that succeeded in taking away the love of Christ from the church, and they have replaced it with materialism and egocentrism. And this is what is killing the foundation of that country called Nigeria, because the church play, the greatest role in the mentality of the people in Nigeria. And if the church cannot teach the people the value system like you are teaching, then we are lost.
Yes,
that country, we are completely lost. So I think I've exceeded my time, But I must thank you and appreciate you for what you are doing. I am working as well and making videos. I am on all the groups, and I will try to see if I can make it to the HMT in January.
Thank you, sir.
We'll try to see, but I want to be on this movement and be one of those that is going to, spread the message of the kingdom of God and then teach people the truth, for people to really understand that they have the image and the nature, the creative ability of God is in them, and the Holy Ghost is not just limited to binding demons and killing enemies and getting miracle money. Thank you so much. I just pray that the eyes of our people will be opened. I pray that the eyes of their understanding will be enlightened so that they will receive this light that is coming true.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Now, it's good that the brother mentioned about HMT. For those people who have not made it to HMT yet, HMT is called History Makers Training, and the next one is coming up in January. So you could either come before the new year and spend the new year with us, or come immediately after the new year from the 2nd to the 7th. is when we have the HMT, 2nd to 7. So we are waiting for all of you. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello?
Yes, speak. We are hearing you very well.
Oh. Is this Pastor, is it DSA?
Yes. Who is speaking, please? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Austria, the crying prophet's wife.
Oh, wow. So nice to hear your voice. I've been trying to call you on personal level, but he wanted me to call when you are there. So nice to hear your voice.
Sir.
Nice to hear your voice.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, DSA. Can you hear me?
Very well, very well.
Okay, sir. I want to really thank you for this message because I want to be really frank with you, DSA. The first time I saw your message, my husband was listening to it. I was so mad. I was like, what? Why is he listening to this? What is this? You know? Because DSA, all our life, we have been brainwashed about this miracle and giving and sowing seed. And, seeing it for the first time, I was like, what is this? And my husband was like, oh, this way, please just try and listen to DSA's message, please. It was like begging me all through. I was like, okay. So anytime he's listening to it, I just go close to the bed. I'll just be listening and be like, okay, there is something really nice that this man is talking about. Okay, let me just give it a try. And one day, one of your teachings, I just went to YouTube and listened. I was like, oh my God, what is this? I was screaming. I was like, are we this brainwashed? I'm even one of them. Are you hearing me?
Yes, very well.
And when he came back, I was like, I said it in German. I was like, chat it like darling. And he said yes. I said, do you know that you people should give us time because we've been brainwashed all our lives. So it will take some time to sink into us.
Yes, I remember that.
So it will take it.
He used to say, pray for my wife to join me.
Because we have been all our life, like let me remember from 8 years and 5 to 8 years we've been going to church. We've been brainwashed into this giving and don't talk about the man of God because judgment is going to follow you. So immediately, the first time I saw my husband listen, I said, oh my, why are you talking about this man of God? You want the judgment of God to fall upon you? I'm not among. I was just laughing, said, just listen. I said, no, I'm not going to listen. But I just thank God I gave it a try. I was just keeping my ears into it. And at the end of the day, I was like, oh my God, Joy, are you this brainwashed? Really? All these years? What? And I really want to thank God for you, DSA, and may God continue to use you. At least we know, a lot of people know these things, but it will take some time, DSA, for it to sink into us properly. You know, it took us so many years. We've been wallowing in this kind of giving and first fruits and this. And by the grace of God, when we start listening to your messages all over again and again, it will definitely sink into us. And in this process of bringing money, and money is going to be in your bag, DSA, I'm of the opinion that if you don't work hard, you sit at home, hungry will finish you.
Yes.
There is no miracle money anywhere. Anybody that is thinking about that, you are just living in an illusion that you are dreaming. Because here in Europe, any civilized country is about work, and dignity in labor.
Yes.
Whatever you are doing is worth doing well. And when you do it properly, you find out that God blesses you.
Yes.
Without even sowing seed.
And without you don't even need to pray, Sam. You just do it well.
You don't need to.
Yes.
Yes. But in Nigeria, everybody is working. When you put this one, you don't work, you sit at home, you go to different places. At the end of the day, money will come into your account. Are you kidding me? If you do that, you will just die in hunger. And that is it. So I don't want to give that excuse that because I have children and because of this, we are waiting for miracle money. I do have children, but you have to.
So I think in that Africa DSA, we really have to work in our minds, because our mind has been so polluted by pastors in Nigeria that when you believe in God and sow seed, your seed will be working for you.
It is brainwash. It is brainwash.
Yes, sir.
You
So
know,
I want to thank you, sir. And
Sister,
this message is still sinking into me, sir. And I know by the grace of God, we that have been brainwashed 20, 25, 30 years of our lives, God will wash it out and will be reformed.
Sister Joy.
Thank you very much, sir.
Sister Joy, wait. You know, many people are writing now that they want the miracle that has happened in your family to happen to them. For some reason, a lot of men. People...
let me give a tip on what the crime prophet did. Okay. When I was like, I don't want to tell you, DSC, anytime I see you preaching, I'm always angry. Why is my husband listening to this? This man is corrupting his mind. And I'll just go to the sitting room and sit down and say, I always believe in giving. That I've been like that, giving and sowing seed and all of that. But do you know that crime prophet keep on showing me love, and he was like talking very coolly? Joy, please, when you listen to him, I'll buy you anything, I'll get you anything. Just listen to what.
That is wise.
Yeah, so that's what I've been telling me. So just listen to one message. If you listen to one of DSA messages and you are not changed and you are not touched, if I don't listen again, I was like, really? He will say, yeah, so please, can you just, I'll say, oh, you want to talk about DSA? Don't worry, I'll listen to it. So he keep on telling me again and again. And in my mind, everything that I've been taught in church for the past 25 to 30 years, it started sinking into my mind, into my brain. I was like, okay, what is this? And I don't know what to say. I want to thank God and thank God for Crime Prophet. And thank you also for DSA for bringing us out of this bondage. I call it bondage because where you don't talk about the man of God. When you talk about the man of God, you are going to hell. Don't judge the man of God. That is what we've been told all this while. So we don't talk about it. Yes.
Congratulations to you and to your family. A lot of people are rejoicing with you on the platform, and they say that they're keen to that anointing because a lot of men are here, but their wives are in those churches, and their wives are angry that they are listening to me. So they are all receiving the anointing from you today.
I was even more angrier than their wives. I don't want to. Anytime the crime prophet is listening, he said, I want to bring one topic or the other, and he doesn't even mind me. He will just be concentrating. What is this? What is so special about this person that this man is just concentrating? People that try to distract him, he doesn't get distracted. I was like, okay. So when he left for work, because I normally go to work in the evening, so he goes to work in the morning. So when I've dropped the children in school, I just decided to come and look, okay, let me just listen to them because I don't want to see DSA's face. I'm always angry. I said, okay, let me just manage and check. Immediately I checked, I was like, oh my God. I was just screaming. So when he came back, I was so ashamed to even talk to him that I even watched it. I was like, what? What is this?
Thank you so
much. God bless everybody. And I think from now to 3 years, Nigerian pastors, now they are on like fire. But between now and 3 years, DSA, I'm telling you, we should keep on saying it. And the men that are watching right now, just keep on telling your wives, in a very cool manner, in a lovely way. We do hear it, we know. But because we are so brave, we're like, no, never. We want to. But at our own quiet time, we'll just go, sneak corner, and go and look at it. So immediately we listen to that message. There's nobody that will listen to your message that will not be turned around. Never.
Thank you so much. Thank you, man. Thank you so much. God bless. Wow. And I want to tell everybody that is listening, if anything happens to the Facebook live broadcast, if it goes down or it stops, know that we're on YouTube. So we are coming on YouTube, and it is through YouTube we are coming on Facebook. So if anything happens on Facebook, we are waiting for you on YouTube. Okay? Just for you to know. Yeah, so but if you want to call in, either you want to call in from Facebook or YouTube, You just go to Facebook Messenger and look for move agents. One word, move agents, and then you can write that you want to call. Oh, I think Osaro is here.
Hello, it's Adeshola.
Okay, it's the wife, Adeshola. Yes.
How you doing, sir?
Well, I'm trying my best. I hope it's getting across. I just hope it's getting across.
Yes, you are always trying your best, and I know that the Lord is with you in this journey. I'm always full of joy listening to you, and I'll bless God for the day I got to see your message. I bless God for the brother that shared your message on Facebook, and I got hooked to your message ever since then. And I thank God because over the years, my husband has been saying this, and it seems as if the guy is crazy whenever he speaks. And that was why it got so much connected to you, because he just realized that, oh my God, this guy is just too loaded. He's just saying the right thing. And I can understand where he's coming from, because the truth of the matter is, I have to say this, it's hard for me to invite anybody on this platform anymore.
Wow.
Because yes, it's so hard. And it breaks my heart, Dr. Sunday. I must say this. It breaks my heart because a lot of people have been so brainwashed, they can't even see it. And they don't even want to hear it. Thank God for the last caller. Because she's been brainwashed. She was brainwashed. And she realized that if she continues, thank God for her husband. Because if not that she has a open heart, because I still believe, like you were teaching us today, talking about the values and the kingdom fruits. You know, the Bible says, by their fruit you shall know them.
Yes.
It is not by going to church, it's not by the miracles, it is by the fruit. And you're talking of the kingdom fruit. And anytime I look at the book of Matthew chapter 13, when Jesus Christ was speaking in parables, you know, he was saying that, and he said, and the disciples came and said unto him, why speakest thou unto them in parables? And he said, he answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given. So for to them it is given. So to you, it is given to you to understand the mysteries of kingdom. So for every belief, we're supposed to understand the mysteries behind this kingdom. And it's not just talking about our day-to-day act. It's a lot of things going on. And Dr. Sunday has come out to explain a lot. I just love the fact that you open up the scripture to us and you relate everything to what is going on in our world. As a Christian, we have to dominate in every aspect of our lives. We have to take charge. We have to be, the Bible says, you shall be the head and not the tail. So what are we waiting for? What are we struggling? What are we really striving for? If not for the best and for the perfection that Christ has brought to us. You know, I just thank God for your love. Like I said, it's so hard for me to invite people. A sister was speaking to me yesterday. She said, Shola, don't be particular of those people that are talking to men of God. When I started talking to her, she couldn't say anything because she doesn't know. She doesn't know a lot of things. She's been so brainwashed and she doesn't know. When I started telling her, this is where Dr. Sunday is coming from. This is where she's coming from. This is where he is coming from. Have you gone to listen to some of his messages? I'm still listening to some of your messages. I can't even wrap my mind around this thing because they are just too loaded. And you are not, anytime I hear you speak, you don't just speak because you understand the real concept of who a Christian should be. You know, I just thank God for your life, sir. And like I said, I bless God for the day you gave your life to Christ and you attend to this call. I can't say enough because you are out there. So no, you're doing the work of the ministry, reconciling them back to God. But the truth is, a lot of people don't want to listen. A lot of people don't want to hear because they feel that what they've heard for so many years, how could they erase those things from their head?
So what do you think? What is it that you saw? What is the reaction that you saw that you say is breaking your heart that you cannot even invite people again? Even though you are, on the other hand, you are praising me that I'm doing the right thing, but on the other hand, you say you cannot invite people again.
The reason why I cannot invite people again because when I talk to them, I can see their reaction. All I do now is that I just pray for them, like Paul prayed, that their eyes of understanding will be enlightened. That is what I just do, because I can see their post on Facebook. I can see that they are really rebelling against what you are doing. Like a friend of mine said, I tithe. A lot of them are putting on this post now, I'm a tither. Anybody that wants to go to hell. You can see that they are hearing it, but they don't want to accept the fact. It's even beyond the tithe. But that is just one out of many. Because a lot of them are invited, they come to tell me that Shola against any man of God. I say, this is not about man of God. Can't you just see? Can't you put your scripture and understand that these things that is going on in the church is not right? These are paganistic worship. These are all paganism. These are not what Christ called us to do. But we can't see it. So that was why I decided, few that I can invite actually. But a lot of them that I invited, they've confronted me and they know where I'm coming from. And all of them, even when I share your post, they don't even bother to even like it, because I can tell that they don't. Like the last caller said, she doesn't even want to see your face. And I think that is what they don't even want to see your face. But the truth is, my dear pastor, the Lord is with you. The Lord is with you, because when somebody is speaking the truth, you have less friends. You have less people that want to listen. But at the same time, a lot of people are listening in their corner, and this truth is hitting them. But they cannot come out boldly. I'm even sure that a lot of people that are on this platform are listening, but they can't even comment, because they're going to trace the comment to them. It's true, sir. They're going to trace the comments to them, because I commented on some things. That was why some people were able to get me. And at this point in time, I'm going to give account of myself before my Father. I am not afraid of any man. I am not afraid. I will say it over. I'm not afraid of any man, but I'm afraid. I have my reverence to my Maker and my God. And you always emphasize on this personal relationship. This is one thing I love so much when you emphasize it. Personal relationship. Personal relationship. This is so interesting. And these are all part of the fruit of the kingdom. Because when you are a Christian, when people see you, they're supposed to see the fruit. My dear pastor, there's so I have to say. But I know I have a limited time. Maybe when my husband on this platform, we are a bunch of testimony. We are a bunch of testimony. It's not like I'm trying to praise myself, but the Bible says that we are the light of the world. We are the salt of the earth. It said, let your light so shine before men that they might see your good works. Glory to the Father which is in heaven. Thank God that the Lord is helping us. Here in the United States, I'm not boasting. My boasting is not of myself, but my boasting is in the Lord. The Lord has blessed us so much that I can't even. And this blessing is not only in material things. It's because I thank God for my spiritual understanding. I thank God for where I was coming from, and I thank God for where I am today, because the Lord has taught me so much. He has opened my eyes to understand so many things. I'm coming in contact with you also is like he's helping you to understand who you are as a child of God. Nobody can tell you who you are not. When who you are as a child of God, you can do exploits. You will be that those that know their God, they shall strong and they shall do exploits. And I thank God, because this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. Thank you so much, Dr. Sunday. And I bless God for your life. I thank God for the work you are doing. And I pray that the Lord will continue to strengthen you, sir.
Help me greet Osaro. Thank you so much. Now, wow. But if that miracle could happen to the wife of the crying prophet, because I know the way the crying prophet was so concerned about the wife. So I know God can do it for everybody also. So, we should just do our best. Maybe some of them, the books will even work better. For those people who are in Nigeria, I have my books in Nigeria. Look for Shioma. But if you don't have the ones in Nigeria, if you don't have those ones that are not in Nigeria, write to DSA's books at God Embassy. DSA's books at gmail.com. DSA's books at gmail.com. And those of you who want to come for the HMT, go to sundayadelajablog.com/visit. sundayadelajablog.com/visit. And all of us, let's go and share the message. Please go share the message on Facebook, on YouTube. Let's go and share the link. Go and share the message, spread the word. and let the word go and cross, and let the word set the people free. So if you have not shared the message, go share the message, please. And if you want to get the message on WhatsApp, we are going to put the link now to the WhatsApp, where the messages go out once in a while on WhatsApp. We are going to put the link. Follow that link that is going to be tapped and going to be pinned to the comment section on the WhatsApp in both the Facebook and YouTube. So you can go there. That's how you find the WhatsApp messages. And then you go and register to it according to instruction. Just follow that instruction that is in that link. And then that way you could, you'll be able to get the messages on WhatsApp. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, who is this, please?
Dr. Sunday, my name is Jide. I'm calling from United States, Texas.
Yes, Jide, welcome. How are you today?
Fine, sir. I have been watching you. I've been following you for a while now, and I just want to say you have been doing such a great job.
Yes, I need you to speak louder, please. Can you make it to speak louder? Yeah.
Okay.
Or get into a place where your voice could be.
Let me go into a better place.
Yes.
Can you hear me better, sir? Can
Yeah,
you hear me now?
it's getting better, yeah.
Okay, so I just want to say you're doing such a wonderful job.
Okay.
And what I just have a few things to say to what has been going on. I realize that this is just my observation. When we talk about Nigerian Christianity, let's just say religiosity, I realize that our religion the Christianity was over to us by the white man. Let's just call it the white man.
Yes.
And to me, I'm looking at it like, do we really want to say that we are able to understand the Bible more than the white man? I don't think so. Because what I've seen is we have been able to create a lot of things out of the Bible. That the white men, they're not even practicing their Christianity that way. So if we go into the Western...
Hello? We lost him. I think his location is not very good. We can't hear you. We lost your voice, so we can't hear. You have to call back. Your location is not good. You've got to find a better place where to call from so that we'll be able to hear you properly. So is there anybody calling? Is there any other person calling? So, but when you are calling, make sure you put off the receiver, so that we could hear you very well. Jide? Yes. Hello, Jide?
Yes, sir. So what my observation is, it's only the Bible that we've been able to create something out of that's special, that's different from the rest of the world. And say, if you now look at in this area of science, like let's say physics, chemistry, when we get those textbooks, we can't invent anything out of those things. All we do is so there's something special, different about the religion because there's money involved.
Yeah.
So the only thing we do is just create our own thing that it goes back to what you said about egocentricity.
Yes.
So basically, everything we're doing is attached to money, and to me, it tells a lot because it's just mind-boggling. And what I realized about the last call, I think the lady that talked about being converted.
Yes.
Because she didn't believe, I realized that a lot of us that come to the Western world, we grew up in Nigeria. We were taught the Bible. We just follow it the way we were taught from Sunday school,
which is wrong. Which is mostly wrong.
Yes. So when we come to this part of the world, we're supposed to be transformed. A lot of us, after living here for a while, we adapt, we learn, then we change. But most of the time, we still go to our Nigerian churches.
Wow.
And the unfortunate thing is that the same doctrine being preached in Nigeria, which of course is the main church over there, is still being preached in the foreign countries, which is the Western world.
So we don't change.
We don't change. So and it is also important to see that this churches that were in the Western world, they're not able to attract any, not even any, even the biggest church in, let's say in the United States, the biggest Nigerian church, how many indigenous white members do they have? We're not able to attract them.
Yes.
We're not able to, because what we're doing is we're still going back to the same thing we're doing in Nigeria.
Because
in the Western world.
Because
so
the
we
kind
can't
of
attract them.
Yeah, the kind of doctrine they preach in Africa doesn't have power with white people. White people they will rubbish those kind of doctrine easy. They don't appeal to them.
So it goes back to what I said. Do we really? Is there something that we know, or we're able to reinterpret the Bible, or we understand the English language better than them? That they were the one that gave us the religion, and they are not doing it the way we're doing it.
It means we are wrong. We are wrong.
It's obvious. We're basically not practicing Christianity. The people that brought it to us, that's not what it stands for.
Yes.
That's not the way it's written.
Yep.
So we are reading the Bible, but that's the only thing that we are reading and interpreting that way. Other things, science, anything that's going to benefit the society, we're not studying it that way. Now, the other thing, I was going to make another comment. You said this before. I looked at, for me, everything that we do should be evidence-based.
Yes, sir.
Now, if we're doing Christianity, there's got to be a point where we all come back and say, okay, let's evaluate what we've been doing. Is it working or not? Now, we've been doing this thing for as long as I've been alive. I've been hearing the word of God, and to me, it hasn't improved the society. It hasn't changed our society. We are still doing the same thing. People, if you go to Nigeria, an average Nigerian, when they tell you, I'm a Christian, I'm a pastor, sometimes you have to run away.
Yes.
When you give them something to do, because they will turn around and disappoint you.
Yep.
So it has not touched the conscience of an average Christian in Nigeria, not to steal, not to lie, not to do the bad things that we even, when we come from here, where do we get the value system that we picked up when we moved into the Western world? Of course, the Western world has taught us to live by certain standards. Now, when we now go home, we now start looking at our brothers and sisters like, why are you all doing this? Why are you cheating? Why are you? And they are practicing Christians. They are even more devoted. They are praying harder. They are fasting. They are everything. But they are not. It has not touched their conscience.
Wow.
So that is part of the problem. Now, and lastly, what I would say, because the solution to what you'll be talking about, solution. This is my solution. I was in Nigeria this year, but I'm looking ahead. I'm thinking, now we have been able to get this message across to all the people that need to, like anybody that has the internet, and some people are sharing it. The problem, this is my own observation. If they hear this message, how will an average Nigerian, they're used to going to church. That's the norm. That's the lifestyle. On Sunday, they have to go. Now, if the message we're passing across now is, okay, all the things you've known, you've been brainwashed, okay, stop going to this church. Where would they go? I think we're telling them, because for me, I think the last set of people that will change are these pastors we're talking about.
Yes.
They are not going to change because money is attached. So they will not change. They will not change. It's a hardcore. It's hardcore. They will not change. So the people. So let's say you have a congregation of 1,000 people. The first, let's say we take out about 100 out of that 1,000. You left with 900. It's still sizable. They will continue to preach the same thing. They will reprogram the message and brainwash them more over and over again. But as soon as it drops to 500, then they'll start thinking, well, maybe it's time to, maybe change. So, the people we are addressing this message, which is the the Nigerian people. If they hear this message and decide that, okay, I'm not going to do all this anymore, I'm not going to go for miracle, I'm not going to go for water anymore. Sorry, I think my time is up.
No problem. I think I will try to answer the question. Where should people go?
So I think my whole idea is, if we stop them, if we're not stop, but if we're encouraging them to change the way they think, all that stuff, they cannot continue to sit in the same church where the same brainwashing started. We cannot let them continue to stay there.
Yes.
That is the sad truth. For example, if you're saying, if one pastor is saying, all the enemy die, all these things die, come and get married, they are used to going to that church. Now, we've given them the new message. It's like a newborn again. You want them to go to church after you convert them. So where do we take them to?
I have an answer for that. And the answer that I have for that, where should they go to, is that let's go back to the Bible. The Bible is our standard. So where should they go to now that they are getting new message? Where they should go to is to go back to themselves. In the New Testament, we never saw a place where people were going to church. They were just coming together in homes, coming together with friends. So find your friends, find your family members. All churches that were in the New Testament, not the synagogues. So the synagogues were the Jews. They were the Judaism people, Judaists. But apart from the born again people who accepted the message of Jesus Christ, they stayed at home and they were studying the word. They were reviewing the word of God at home. My call to everybody is that everybody should develop a culture of studying the scriptures at home. These messages that you are listening now, put them on every day. You open the Bible, discuss them with your friends, with your business partners, with your family members. Discuss or get the book, get the Bible, sit down together. That is how the Old Testament, in the New Testament, that is how the Bible Christians developed. They never had churches, but they had fellowship. They had gathering. They had assembling. They just assemble anywhere they find themselves. So it is what we need. It is assembling. Just assemble together to share the word, to share the principles. That is what we need today. We need to return back to the time of home groups, home churches, studying the Bible. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, who is this, please? Hello?
Hello? Hello?
Yes, talk to us now.
Yes, good evening, sir.
Yes, who is talking from where?
Okay, my name is Clinton Simeon Migwe. I'm calling from Nigeria.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir. I want to sincerely appreciate you, sir.
Yes, sir.
For the good work you're teaching.
Okay.
I think the messages we are hearing from you at the moment are the right messages for the hour. You see, in Nigeria church, I personally have been a victim of the wrong value systems that have been passed to us by our pastors and our Nigerian churches.
Because you are going to those churches, eh?
Yes. I was once fully committed to these churches. In fact, in one of the churches, I was a youth pastor and I stayed with them for 5 years.
Maybe they don't collect your money. They don't collect your money for the show. 5 years.
The experience is quite terrible. The experience is quite terrible, sir.
5 years of investment.
Terrible experience.
Wow. Tell me, I want to hear.
Yes.
Me, I want to hear.
Yes, I went to one other church. I attended their Bible school. In fact, in the Bible school, I graduated as the best graduating student in the diploma class. The one they call the Word of Life Bible Institute.
Okay.
By Living Faith Church.
Okay.
In fact, I think those Bible schools are more of a brainwashing institutions. Yes, believe me, they do more of that. Is where members are being brainwashed. That is where members are being taught that you must not question what pastor teaches. That is where members are being taught that the only way to prosper and succeed is by giving all manner of offerings and tithes and all that and all that. In fact, the last one I attended was a Word of Life Bible Institute. Do you know that in one of the classes, they said it was principle of financial prosperity.
Okay.
And everything they kept telling us is that the foundation for kingdom wealth is starting. Then other ones, you start giving a offering, this one offering, this one. So I raised my hand in the class. I asked them, sir, I asked my teacher, I said, sir, from what you are teaching us, these principles, they are principles that most of us have been practicing, and yet we are nowhere compared to people like Dangote.
Yes.
I told them Dangote is the richest black man, and he's not even a churchgoer.
He doesn't even pay.
All these our principles has not made us to be better than, you know. So, sir, the truth is that there is need for what we are doing now. At a point, I got tired with these churches. I stopped attending because the results, we are not getting the results. The gospel that we are being preached to, we are not working. They are not producing the things that we have been promised that these things would produce, which means that there is an issue. And God is not a liar. If these men are communicating, you know, the word of God, the realities of the scriptures to us, they should be able to produce the right result. If you come to Nigeria, the situation of things here are they are so pathetic. So pathetic. Everything is upside down, and yet we claim that we have great churches, we have big churches, we have great men of God that do all manner of miracles. Their miracle is not transforming society. So the first time I heard you online, I heard your teachings, I said, this must be the finger of God.
Wow.
This must be the finger of God. But the challenge we are having now is that our people has been so much brainwashed that they are afraid to speak up. Most of them find it difficult to accept this kind of teaching from you because of, you know, the level of brainwashing that they have gone through. There is what is called the Stockholm syndrome.
Yes, Stockholm syndrome. Yes.
That is what many churchgoers in Nigeria are going through now.
So the victims are defending their oppressors.
Yes, defending their oppressors, defending these men that has enslaved everybody, seeing them as untouchables. And that is where the work is. That is why me personally have been advocating that you look for a way to start something here locally.
Okay.
So that start something here locally. Those of us on ground can work with you to help rescue our people. Our people has been brainwashed, and most of them don't even follow you online. When you invite them to come and work, they will say, "Forget about that man. He's criticizing pastors." So we need something on ground.
What was he doing? What did they say I do?
They say you are criticizing our great men of God.
Okay.
You are criticizing them, that you are envious of their achievements. Most of them has a jet, you don't have. That is why you are criticizing. That is a level the brainwashing has gone to. And I think there is need for you to be on ground.
So because
some of us that are following you here.
So Warren Buffett now, who said, if anybody tell you that they need jet, that they are liars and they are only covetous people. Warren Buffett, the second richest person in the world. So he is also jealous. No baby talk about.
That is their mentality. That is their mentality. That is their mentality. That is the issue with the value system we have in this part of the world. You understand what I'm saying, sir? So that is why I've been, crying out every time, pleading with you to do all you can for something to be started locally, so that we can be able to reach out to our people locally at the grassroots level and see how we can be able to rescue them from this long period of brainwashing they have gone through. If you can start something like a training institute here or your own Bible school, I think it will go a long way to help us, because these people have been brainwashed in these various Bible schools. And it will require another kind of a Bible school for them to be reoriented and re-educated to accept this gospel that you are bringing, this gospel of transformation and restoration that God is using you to bring to this part of the world.
Beautiful, beautiful. I hear
Yes.
I hear
So,
you.
Okay. Yes, I started following you about 6 months ago, and presently my life has been so much transformed. I have a movement now of young Africans from over 10 African countries working on how we can really, catalyze the emergence of a new Africa.
Beautiful.
All these things, I couldn't do it all this while, but these few months I've been listening to you, following your teachings. I was able to integrate the team. Just within 1 week, I got mind-blowing responses from young men from all over Africa. We have a team now called the New African Mandate, and we are trying to see how we can also be part of the transformation, the transformation and processes in this part of the world.
What about the kingdom?
So
have you registered for the kingdom fruits? You have to write.
I just heard about this. I just heard about this one today.
Okay.
So I think I have to be part of that group. I have to be part of that.
Yeah,
group.
you have to write now.
I really have to.
You have to write it down and then go to YouTube and look at the kingdom fruits. What other people have been talking about it.
Oh, okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Yes.
Okay, sir.
Thank you so much. You are doing a good job. And, get the books to your people, get the message to them, let the revolution begin. Because the one I'm doing every day like this is also like Bible school. Oh.
Yes, but it's not everybody here that has access to the internet to be able to stay for a long time online to listen to these messages.
Okay.
You understand? And also the issue of power. Even right now, I have to boost my battery with my laptop to be able to follow through the teachings.
I see.
So that is why if we can do something offline, doing something offline will be more productive and more impactful.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Blessings, and I will be expecting you on Kingdom Fruits. All right. I'm sure we have 1 or 2 more calls. We will receive that one, and then so anybody that wants to participate in the Kingdom Fruits, go and look at it. We have many Kingdom Fruits already that have already happened. Look at the Kingdom Fruits and see, the testimonies, the stories, and the work that people are doing, and that will really help you. Hello.
Bless you, sir.
That's Baba Thompson.
This is Baba from the UK, UK, sir.
Yes, sir.
Grace and peace be unto you, sir.
Thank you very much.
You are doing a great job.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. I just today's message was just too great. It's really great. And you see, I just sat down and I began to wonder, I began to question myself that actually, we just hear all these things going on, but we never actually really sit down to put 2 + 2 together to make 4. It's and I really commend you for actually doing this kind of great job. We hear news, we hear so many things, but we never really, get into our conscious mind that actually this is the things, the atrocities that people are perpetrating, the people that we do respect in our country. They have destroyed my people, our people.
Yes.
They have actually, like one of your team said that actually we've been traumatized.
By these people?
We have been traumatized. Nigerians have been traumatized. It's sad. It's sad. I feel like crying for my people. In fact, I do cry for my people since this program has been going on. And I question myself how gullible I am. Just like most people, that we couldn't actually put 2 + 2 together. We have been brainwashed for so long. For so long. And I mean those video that was shown today, actually,
Yes,
it's I realized that actually all this someone standing up and saying somebody will be blessed today, somebody is going to. It's like in psychology we call it random sampling.
yes.
When you say something, you random sample people, and the chances of someone getting the good news, someone who has gone for interview during the week to get the job, the chances is probably 99%.
Yes.
So it's like random sampling, and such people, because they have been brainwashed, they now come with their tithe and offerings.
Wow.
This is really appalling. This is we've been. I think when I look back, when I sit back, I just think the work is much, just as the Bible says, but the laborers are few.
But I think it's a good thing that at least we are now talking about it, isn't it?
We are talking. It is a good thing, sir. And the last caller, what the last caller said, sir, it's really. I was just said this idea of taking these things back to the grassroots, because these people are in Lagos. Even our message that people, it's so limited to some people. People who have got generators, and they are not even ready to share it. They are looking at it quietly in their own house there. But these people have to go to villages and towns. If it involves us, maybe getting some radio adverts, radio jingles, that will do the job. Billboards for people to read.
Yeah.
It's really because this revolution has started. I hear some people. I mean, somebody like on this. I could read some comments today, like comment from Modupe saying that. Saying all sorts of rubbish that DSS is asking people to, is taking people to hell. I wonder if people like that, if his family, any member of his family, was brainwashed by a pastor to go and eat grass, to eat snakes, all in the name of God.
Wow.
Not actually sitting down to think, my God, this is, she need to think, to ask herself, is DSA asking people to go and kill? Is he asking people to go and steal? Is he asking people to have values, to work, to have dignity in their labor? And really, this is really, it makes me sick, and I wonder.
I think what made that to say
25 years ago.
I think what made that to say
is that I come from Nigeria. Those white people, they will look at me and they just smile. When the white people are seeing what is happening, the Europeans, how would they not think we are monkeys?
Yeah.
Eh? How would they not think we are so gullible?
Yep. I think what made them to think that I'm leading people to hell, some of them actually say I'm demon possessed, while some of them say I've lost my mind. The reason why they say like that is just because I touch their leaders.
And that is one of the things that one of the guys that came on the platform, James Obadimu, was saying that he was pleading for the leaders, for you to please let them resolve this quietly. This man must, maybe he doesn't know the meaning of leaders. He doesn't know what you preach. We are all leaders. If he has got even a year old in his house, he's a leader.
Yeah.
Everybody has got, we are all leaders. And calling you to resolve these things quietly. No, this is not going to go on again. God has raised somebody who has got the boldness to speak. To speak. This is my contribution to today. The last caller from America as well, who was saying, if we ask these people not to attend churches, what are the options that we've got? I'm advising this man, this caller, to go and think of, view the idea of transformation. We need to all work. We need to have values.
I've been teaching on these things for all my, at least over the last 20 years. If you go and look for my teachings on YouTube, all my recordings, you will see my teachings from 20 years ago, from 10 years ago, from 15 years ago. They are the same thing. From 10 years ago, you see them on the YouTube, on the internet. But so we must spread the word. If the people will get to sit down with the word will transform them. Even if they are not going to churches, they can study the word of God in their homes. They can read the Bible in their houses. They can have small groups in their homes.
That is correct. And this movement is going. It's moving on. Nothing can stop this. Nothing can stop this. And we believe, as Bible says, that my own will come to me. And it is the Nigerian mentality is that even they will lay down, they will disown all those leaders, all the so-called leaders. They will disown them once they realize that there's a movement that is rapidly growing like a burning bush. Because the hand of God is in this. The hand of God is in this. I am fully convinced that the hand of God is in this. And they know. They know. Well, Pastor, all I can say is, with all this, all I can say is that, just once again, to just ask you to be strong in the grace of God that has been placed upon Jesus Christ. The Lord will be with you, sir. The Lord will be with you. The Lord will grant you the grace to the end. To the end. Because you have been called. You have been called. Because, I don't know where we are. All those men of God. If our so-called men of God could be doing this in our country, souls, lives are being destroyed every day, every time. I don't know. I wonder where these people are going. And I wonder. God bless you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so very much. Blessings. Well, I think we have to finish. They are telling me our time is up. We are supposed to end by now. And we have to finish the message of today. We'll continue tomorrow. Tomorrow, what did I say I'm talking on tomorrow? We have to stop preaching. Tomorrow's message will be, we must stop glorifying people who became wealthy from unexplainable sources. Our whole culture is about glorifying people who became wealthy from unexplainable sources, even in churches. Those people who are giving testimonies and bringing money and all that, nobody asks them for the source. They are mainly, many of them are drug pushers and people who got money from corruption and all that. And then the whole society is celebrating people like Ibori and Allah Semega, and because those people are stealing the money. So we must start even a war. Against people who became wealthy from unexplainable sources. So that's what I'm going to be talking about tomorrow, because we are talking about urgent measures to rescue the African church. And this is one of the measures that we must take. People who don't have business, to prove that this is where they're making their money from, they must not be celebrated anymore. And that's what I'm going to be talking about tomorrow. So see you guys tomorrow. It's been a nice evening. We'll see you tomorrow. Blessings. Bye.